Nominations filed nationwide for Nepal National Assembly polls. Congress, UML and JSP Nepal share seats. Disgruntled faction of Nepali Congress announced special general convention next week. Claim accouchement comes in accordance with party statute. Silver price reaches a record high in Nepal amid global precious metals rally. Gold sees a slight decline. U.S. discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military, according to White House. Such comes as European leaders issue statement rallying behind Denmark. Venezuela's interim president insists no foreign power governing her country. Trump says Venezuela to be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil to U.S. And ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy Tour concludes in Nepal. Three-day tour culminates in iconic Bodhana Stupa celebration in Kathmandu. Hello there, I'm Smriti Singh Thamang and this is NTV World Primetime News coming to you live from Kathmandu at 1900 hours Nepal time. Across the globe, it's 1:15 p.m. in London, 10:15 p.m. in Tokyo, and just after midnight in Sydney. Now, the news in details. Nominations for the National Assembly election were filed across Nepal on Monday. The Election Commission is holding the election on January 25, which is March 11, to fill 18 vacant seats in Upper House of the Parliament. Nominations were registered from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., while voting is scheduled from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on election day. The Commission has already published the final voter list based on the 2021 national census. Members of provincial assemblies and chiefs, deputy chiefs, chairpersons and vice chairpersons of local governments are eligible voters. Complaints against candidates can be filed on December 9. Candidates may withdraw on December 12, and the final list of candidates will be published the same day. Nepali Congress named candidates in all provinces, including Sunil Bahadur Thapa from Koshi, Dharmendra Paswan and Ranjit Karna from Madhesh, Geeta Devkota from Bagmati, Jagat Timal Sinha from Gandaki, Basudev Jangali and Chandra Bahadur Kesi from Lumbini, Lalit Jung Shahi from Karnali and Kham Bahadur Khati from Sudur Paschim. The CP and UML selected 8 candidates across provinces, while Nepal Communist Party CPN announced a full slate of candidates nationwide. In Madhesh province, Lokatantrik Samajwadi Party LSP chair Mahant Thakur filed his nomination, citing an understanding with major parties. In Gandaki province, Rashtriya Jana Morcha candidates Shankar Baral and Lakshmi Baskota also registered their nominations, stating the party is contesting independently. Despite ongoing negotiations, a formal seat-sharing agreement among major parties has yet to be finalized. Representatives demanding a special General Convention of Nepali Congress have announced that a special Central General Convention will be held on January 11 and 12 in accordance with the party statute. At a press conference held today, leaders said the convention is necessary to strengthen the party, make it more dynamic and responsive to public sentiment, and rebuild it through timely policy formulation. They said that under Article 17.2 of the party statute, 54.58% of General Convention representatives, that is 2,488 members, had submitted a written request on October 15 last year. As the 15th General Convention was not completed by mid-December, as required under Article 17.1, they said the special convention must be convened. Central members Ajay Babu Shivakoti and Pratima Gautam said no one has the authority to disregard such a demand and urged all representatives to participate. Normal life in Birganj of Nepal's Parsa district is gradually regaining normalcy from today after an all-party and all-sides meeting settled the dispute erupted involving 2 communities of differing social and religious faith. The district administration office, Parsa, had imposed a curfew in Birganj metropolitan city for the last 2 consecutive days after the tensions had flared up following a protest demonstration in Birganj on Sunday. Since the curfew was lifted, local markets have become increasingly bustling yet again, while the movement has resumed on the roads. The protest was triggered by a dispute between Hindu and Muslim communities at Ward number 6 of Kamala municipality in Tanusha district last Sunday. Members of the Muslim community protested the same day over alleged mosque vandalism and arson, while Hindu groups staged protests on Monday, accusing offensive remarks against Hindu temples and deities. The situation later escalated into clashes between the protesters and police on Monday. Time for a short break now. We shall be back with more updates. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching NTV World Primetime News. Now the remaining updates. Silver prices in Nepal soared to a record high today, reflecting a broader trend in the global precious metals market. According to Federation of Nepal Gold and Silver Dealers Association, silver was traded at 4,935 rupees per tola, which is 11.66 grams, up by 55 rupees from the previous day. The previous record of 4,895 rupees per tola, 11.9966 grams was set on December 29, 2025. The surge in Nepal mirrors the ongoing rally in international silver markets, driven by rising demand from industrial sectors and investment inflows amid global economic uncertainties. Factors such as inflation concerns, geopolitical tensions, and fluctuations in the US dollars are said to be key drivers influencing silver prices worldwide.
Meanwhile, gold retreated to cities or other districts. Once the thriving communities are being abandoned, driven away by relentless attacks from monkeys, nearly 90% of the population from these settlements has left, leaving streets eerily quiet and farmland abandoned. Villages such as Archale, Bhorlini, Damaisap, Gurase, Ranagao, Thakle and Mohoria, once alive with daily activity, now stand nearly deserted. Out of 173 families, only 47 remains. For those who stay, life is harsh.
Yeah, समस्या भने चाहिँ त्यही पानी अनि बाजार जंगलबाट एकदम कमाइहरु खानु नदिने समस्या त्यही हो अरु चाहिँ अब ठीक छ यहाँ धेरै गरे भनेपछि रितो घर जति सबै
This exodus highlights how human-wildlife conflict combined with limited local resources threatens traditional rural life in Nepal. The escalating monkey menace destroys crops, homes and sometimes even attacks residents, forcing families to abandon their homes. It poses a serious threat to food security and the livelihoods of the subsistence farmers in the district. Locals recall that the government had attempted to address the problem, but limited budgets and resources undermined these efforts. Immediate intervention is crucial. Effective monkey control measures and programs to utilize abandoned farmland are urgently needed. Without action, many more rural settlements in the country could face the same fate. Rosina Rai with the local correspondent Ganesh Bista, Bhojpur, Nepal.
Time now for a short break. We'll see you with global updates on the other side. US President Donald Trump has been discussing a range of options to acquire Greenland, including use of the military, the White House said. An international media, quoting the White House, said that acquiring Greenland, a semi-autonomous region of fellow NATO member Denmark, was a national security priority. The statement came hours after European leaders issued a joint statement rallying behind Denmark, which has been pushing back against Trump's ambitions for the Arctic island. Trump repeated over the weekend that the US needed Greenland for security reasons, prompting Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen to warn that any attack by the US would spell the end of NATO. The issue of Greenland's future resurfaced in the wake of the US military intervention in Venezuela, during which elite troops seized the country's president Nicolas Maduro and took him to face drugs and weapons charges in New York. Venezuela's interim president Delcy Rodriguez insists no foreign powers was governing her country after US President Donald Trump says Washington would, what he called, run it pending a transition after ousting her predecessor. Rodriguez, in a televised address, said the government of Venezuela is in charge in the country and that no one else, adding there is no foreign agent governing Venezuela.
El gobierno de Venezuela rige en nuestro país. Más nadie. No hay agente externo que gobierne a Venezuela. Es Venezuela. Es su gobierno constitucional. El presidente Maduro declaraba ante un tribunal que es un prisionero de guerra. Y se declaraban como lo que son, inocentes, personas decentes que fueron injustamente quebrantadas su protección inmunitaria como jefe de Estado y, bueno, vulnerado por completo las leyes internacionales y las leyes de Venezuela.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has said Venezuela will be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil, worth about $2.8 billion to the US after a military operation to remove President Nicolas Maduro from power. The oil will be sold at its market price, Trump posted on social media, adding he would control the money raised and use it to benefit the people of Venezuela and the US. His comments on Truth Social come after he said the US oil industry would be up and running in Venezuela within 18 months and that he expected huge investments to pour into the country. China, which has been the biggest buyer of Venezuelan oil in recent years, has condemned Trump's announcement as well as the US's reported demands that Venezuela gives its oil exclusively to them. Intense snowfall and icy weather conditions have caused widespread travel disruption across Europe, including France, with 6 reported killed in weather-related incidents on the continent. Hundreds of flights have been cancelled across Europe, with thousands left stranded at airports in Paris and Amsterdam. In Paris, the cold snap has intensified, with weather officials said freezing conditions are expected to persist, increasing the risk of ice formation across affected regions. France's National Weather Service said 38 districts are being placed on orange alert for snow and black ice on Wednesday. Many train services were cancelled in parts of the country. Authorities also urged motorists to limit travel as emergency services were put on standby and road crews worked to clear and salt major routes. Vietnamese authorities have launched a high-intensity nationwide inspection campaign for the first quarter of 2026 to combat illegal, unreported and unregulated IUU fishing, aiming to address recommendations from the European Commission. The initiative was announced at the 29th session of the National Steering Committee on IUU fishing and is focused on achieving the so-called 6 clear objectives, including clearing existing violations, ensuring accurate and honest reporting, standardizing data across administrative levels, and meeting EC reporting deadlines. Authorities were also instructed to strictly enforce regulations against origin fraud and unauthorized border crossings by fishing vessels. Officials said the measures are aimed at strengthening compliance with international standards, protecting marine resources, and safeguarding the long-term sustainability and export competitiveness of Vietnam's seafood industry. Time for another break. We'll be back with more from International. Many Eastern Orthodox Christians mark Christmas on January 7, with Christmas Eve on January 6, in line with the Julian calendar, which runs 13 days behind the Gregorian calendar used in most of the world. Russian President Vladimir Putin, meanwhile, attended a Christmas service at Moscow's Christ the Savior Cathedral, marking the Orthodox Christian holiday celebrated by many on January 7, according to the Julian calendar. During the service, Putin requested the blessing of awards to be given to Russian military personnel involved in operations in Ukraine, underscoring the continued alignment of state and church in the context of the ongoing conflict. Officials said the ceremony also served as a demonstration of national unity and religious continuity amid the ongoing war, with hundreds attending in person under heightened security measures. The UK's London Zoo has carried out its annual animal stocktake, a process that has been conducted for 2 centuries, recording over 8,000 animals in an international conservation database. The stocktake coincides with the zoo's bicentenary year of counting, highlighting its long-standing role in wildlife monitoring and conservation. Head zookeeper Daniel Simmons said the exercise is also a time for reflection in the ever-increasing changes in the geopolitical landscape, emphasizing the broader significance of conservation in a complex global context. The data collected feeds into global efforts to track endangered species, inform breeding programs, and support conservation initiatives worldwide, making the stocktake both a scientific and symbolic milestone for the zoo. Experts say the 200-year tradition offers a rare longitudinal perspective on wildlife management, providing insights into how human activity, climate change, and habitat loss have affected species over time. Crowds flocked to the Consumer Electronics Show CES in Las Vegas of the United States as the annual technology trade fair opened to the public, with a spotlight on artificial intelligence, robotics, and autonomous vehicles. Exhibitors unveiled a range of innovations including ultra-thin televisions, AI-powered companion robots, humanoid machines, and self-driving cars, reflecting the industry's push towards smarter, more interactive technology. Organizers said CES continues to serve as a global platform for tech companies to showcase cutting-edge developments and gauge consumer interest, even as the sector navigates concerns over regulation, privacy, and the societal impact of automation. It is said event highlights the accelerating convergence of AI and robotics across multiple industries, from entertainment and healthcare to mobility and domestic applications. Now the sports update. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 Trophy Tour concluded in Nepal on Wednesday with a landmark public display at the Bodhanath Stupa in Nepal's federal capital, Kathmandu, one of the country's most revered UNESCO World Heritage Sites, marking a historic and emotionally charged moment for Nepali sports. The 3-day tour, the first ever visit of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy to Nepal, has been hailed as a defining milestone in the nation's cricketing journey and its growing presence on the global sporting map. The final day showcase at Bodhanath brought together cricket fans, tourists, monks, and local residents. The trophy's Nepal tour began with a high-profile unveiling at Sheetal Nivas, where President Ramchandra Paudel and national men's team captain Rohit Kumar Paudel jointly revealed the iconic silverware. Defending champions Ivory Coast has become the final team to secure a place in the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON 2025 quarterfinals, rounding out a lineup of 8 continental heavyweights as the tournament nears its conclusion in Morocco. Qualified teams for the AFCON 2025 quarterfinals include Ivory Coast, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria, Ghana, and Tunisia. Matches are scheduled to be played over the coming days at multiple venues across Morocco, culminating in a semi-final lineup that will determine the tournament's final 4. The round of 16 produced a mix of dramatic moments, including last-minute winners, a penalty shootout, and several high-scoring games, setting the stage for closely contested quarter-final clashes. Tournament organisers said the upcoming fixtures will see the continent's top teams face off, with stakes high for both national pride and continental ranking. Palestinian amputees took part in a football match on Tuesday as part of a charity championship held at a camp for displaced people in Khan Yunis, southern Gaza, organisers said. The match, played by amputee athletes using crutches, aimed to provide psychological support and a sense of normalcy for participants amid ongoing displacement and hardship in the enclave. Dozens of residents gathered to watch the game, which was organised by local volunteers and aid groups. Many of the participants lost limbs during previous rounds of fighting or as a result of military operations in Gaza. Organisers said the championship was intended to promote resilience, raise awareness of the needs of people with disabilities, and offer a rare recreational outlet in overcrowded camps. Humanitarian agencies have repeatedly warned that displaced people in southern Gaza face deteriorating living conditions, limited medical care, and growing mental health challenges as the conflict continues. And before wrapping up, here's a look into the top stories once again. Nominations filed nationwide for Nepal National Assembly polls. Congress, UML and JSP Nepal share seats. Disgruntled faction of Nepali Congress announced special general convention next week. Claim accouchement comes in accordance with party statute. Silver price reaches a record high in Nepal amid global precious metals rally. Gold sees a slight decline. US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military. Such comes as European leaders issue statement rallying behind Denmark. Venezuela's interim president insists no foreign power governing her country. Trump says Venezuela to be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil to US. And ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy Tour concludes in Nepal. 3-day tour culminates in iconic Bodhanath Stupa celebration in Kathmandu. That's all for the moment. Our next bulletin will be at 2200 hours Nepal time. Do join us through our social media and get the latest updates from our official website, nepaltelevision.com. I'm Smita Gisingtamang. Thank you for staying with us. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Welcome to the studios of NTV World in Kathmandu. Public Service Broadcasting, PSB Nepal's new initiative to make Nepal more visible and audible to the global audience. Welcome on board.
This is NTV World, facts that speak, insights that matter.
Telling the stories of a changing planet. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
exploring the heartbeat of Nepali creativity. This is NTV World.
The power of story shaped by technology. NTV World.
Unearthing Nepal's hidden heritage. Discovering the timeless Nepal.
Telling stories that endure across centuries. Where culture breathes, stories bloom.
When the world moves, we make a sense of it. NTV World.
Taste of Nepal. Every recipe, every flavor tells the story.
Journalism in the digital age. Fast, focused, verified.
Stories hold power. Stories reflecting life. Stories of the hinterlands. Reporting for NTV World.
This is NTV World. Welcome to News Hour.
This is NTV World. Welcome to Primetime News.
One story at a time.
Crossing borders, connecting voices, where Nepal meets the world in dialogue. This is NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Voices that connect Nepal to the world, bringing perspective, region and relevance to every story. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Stand by. Mic is on.
3, 2, 1, cue.
We are NTV World.
dancing in the beats of Khaijari. These tireless young feet will not stop until the next morning. As every dawn brings along a dusk, and a hello has to end in a farewell note, it was time for us to say goodbye to Ramkot. The beat of the Madal and Khaijari constantly tried to hold us back even until we reached the faraway trails. It was hard to say goodbye when our heart wanted to stay, but then we had to move on.
During Lichavi period, Chango Narayan was also known as Dola Shikhar, which refers to a mount or hill in the shape of Doli. Gopal Raj Vansavali and the Chango inscription also mention it as Changu, a Newari word that refers to swing like hill. But the evidences show that this particular place was popular as Chango Narayan from the earliest time, and the same name exists in the society till present. This two-story
Vaccination has played a critical role in reducing preventable diseases and saving millions of lives worldwide. Yet, globally, millions of children still miss out on routine immunization, leaving communities vulnerable to outbreaks. South Asia has recently shown remarkable progress, and Nepal stands out as a country that has not only recovered from pandemic disruptions but achieved global vaccine targets ahead of schedule. On today's episode of Insight, we are joined by Dr. Abhiyan Gautam, who is the Chief of Child Health and Immunization Service Section, to discuss global immunization trends, Nepal's public health achievements, and what can countries do to achieve universal vaccination. Dr. Gautam, welcome to NTV World Insight.
Thank you.
To start with, what kind of vaccines are we using to immunize our children, and how do you prioritize or decide what kind of vaccines to give to children?
We have started with 4 antigen from 3 districts in country back in 2034 BS, that is 1977, and gradually we have scaled it up to 77 districts, and now we are providing against 14 antigens, and we are providing 11 vaccines against vaccine preventable disease. and is totally free of cost, as we have included that in our constitution, that basic health services are free of cost, and immunization is also a basic health services, and that is totally free of cost. And the vaccine is of quality, because we have Immunization Act, and as per the Immunization Act, we only use WHO pre-qualified vaccine, that is WHO accepted vaccine, and that vaccine that Nepal is currently introducing should be registered in Department of Drug Administration, that is National Regulatory Authority for Nepal, and that means the vaccine that Nepal is using through National Immunization Program is safe, efficacious, and of quality.
Are the vaccines used in lower middle income nations different from others, or are the safety and protocol and standards are similar everywhere?
It might differ in other countries, but in Nepal, as I said, we have Act, and which has enabled us to introduce quality vaccines, and that is WHO pre-qualified. WHO has regulation system, their own regulation system, and the country has its own regulation system as well. Each country has its own regulation system. Our country does not accept other vaccines other than WHO pre-qualified. That means the quality, the vaccine that is being used in Nepal, that is being introduced in Nepal, is of good quality, but other country might lag those regulatory system in low and middle income country. So I can say about the other country, but the basic principle in other country are also the same. Most of the country in the SARE region, that is our neighboring countries, are also following the same system.
A recent WHO and UNICEF data shows that 89% of infants received at least one DTP vaccine in 2024. However, 14.3 million zero-dose children remain unvaccinated, and coverage still trails key global targets. Where do you see the challenges, and how do we cope with this?
There are some challenges in some pocket area around the globe. There are some religious minority, there are some hard-to-reach area and high-risk areas around the globe, and not only that, after COVID-19, many of the services were interrupted all around the globe because of lockdown and because of service interruptions. Maybe because of that, and there are some national disparities inside the country, and there are financial challenges in the country as well, and the question of sustainability has raised in other countries, and that has actually led to zero dose and dropout.
So when we talk about resources, how does Nepal government prioritize budget allocation for immunization campaigns?
Yeah, as I said, immunization is mandated by constitution, as it has written that it is basic health services are free of cost, and it is priority 1 program of Nepal, and Ministry of Health and Population has always prioritized vaccination as its first agenda. And that is why there is high level of political commitment, as well as there is high level of financial commitment in terms of Nepal. So I don't think there is challenge in introducing a vaccine, and also along with the high commitment, high political and financial commitment from Ministry of Health and Population, we also are a Gavi eligible country, that is Global Alliance of Vaccine and Immunization is the alliance who actually support low and middle income country to introduce new vaccine, and there are now 53 countries, such countries along with Nepal, and we are in preparatory transition phase. They actually categorize country based on gross national income, and Nepal is eligible according to our gross national income. So while introducing such vaccines, that is new and underutilized vaccine, Gavi support us financially, and not only financial, they also provide us with procuring vaccines and ancillary items as well. For example, cold chain equipments and other support. And they also support with the operational cost as well. And that is why Nepal has been able to conduct recent campaigns. For example, measles rubella, inactivated polio vaccination campaign, and most awaited HPV vaccination campaign all across the country.
What other alliances are we part of, and how is the collaboration benefiting the country?
Yeah, Gavi was supporting Nepal since 2001, and it's now we are about to celebrate Silver Jubilee as well. And along with that, WHO and UNICEF are our core partner, and recently new partner like WaterAid, Japaigo, GIZ has come up with different packages to support immunization program of Nepal.
There are skepticism about the quality and standards, especially for a country like Nepal. What do you say about it? How do we build trust, or is there something to be concerned at all about?
Yeah, we have to inform the public. We have to inform what vaccines we are providing and what's the quality of that vaccines. And we have been saying the same thing, that is, as per the Act, we always quote the things that this is WHO pre-qualified and it's of good quality, but people are reluctant because they think that whenever we receive vaccine, that is definitely is going to be trial. We are going to be trial. They think in that way, but what we are saying from the program is, yeah, of course, the people has to do trial. The manufacturer has to do trial, and that trial has to be conducted in other country, not in Nepal. And once trial is completed, WHO has to go through all the processes, and after vigorous processes, after checking everything, WHO pre-qualified it, and pre-qualified vaccine are only utilized in Nepal. And we have been saying it time and again. And whenever there is campaign, big campaign, for example, HPV campaign last year, we did that, and there were a lot of rumor regarding the vaccine. The vaccine. The common rumor was the vaccine caused infertility, and the vaccine is on trial. And we said that the vaccine was already introduced in 145 countries, and we were the one who introduced vaccine for the first time, and we were 146th country. And that means other countries have already utilized. They have experienced the quality, efficacy, and safety of the vaccine. And Nepal has recently introduced the vaccines, and there was some question regarding the trust issue. And as you said, so we try to debunk the masses. We try to give correct messages, and all the stakeholders, including celebrities, sportsmen, they all jointly came up to convey the message that the vaccine that Nepal is providing is of good quality, and all the adolescents should receive that vaccine. The voice was, we got same voices from all the celebrities and all the politicians and stakeholders, not only the national but also the international celebrities were with us during the campaign, and that is how we are doing every day.
So rest assured, the public can be confident that Nepal government takes vaccines quality seriously, and that they can, without any doubt, immunize their children.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is it true that South Asia has recently recorded one of the highest improvements in immunization coverage worldwide? And if it is, what factors has driven this regional success?
Yes, Southeast Asia, actually we are under SARE, Southeast Asian Regional Office, and there are 10 countries, and who actually are that's a group, that's a regional office who actually govern all the WHO office of the country. Nepal has also the same system, and they set a goal, they set a resolution for the country, and the resolution was to decrease zero dose, to decrease under-immunized children in the community. And we also put our views, and we actually aligned to we work jointly to reduce the zero dose under-immunized children. In terms of Nepal, we have a program called Full Immunization Declaration Initiative. That means all child should receive all the antigen that is provided by country, and that is also mandated by Act as well. All the beneficiaries, all the guardian, all the parents should ensure that child should receive all the eligible vaccine that government provide. That is as per the Act, and that is right actually. The program is not a program. The national immunization program is not a not only a program, but it's a right of the children. So that is mandated by Act, and we have been working for that. The Full Immunization Declaration is initiative which actually start from household. female community health volunteer. She goes to each and every household to ensure the eligible children are vaccinated or not. And after verification, after checking the vaccination card, she ensures that the child is fully immunized. If not, she refers the child to the health facility. And these activities are being conducted throughout across the country, and starting from the household. Then, if all the household of ward are found to be fully immunized, they celebrate it as a fully immunization ward. Similarly, if all wards within a same municipality are fully immunized, then they celebrate it as a fully immunization municipality, then district, then province, then nation. And this was the first time, in the last fiscal year, it was the first time where we declared Nepal as a fully immunization country. And it was the first time in history since we started this campaign, that is full immunization initiative campaign, and it was started in 2012. Other country also, there are many initiatives. There are initiative called Big Catch Up program, where Gavi also support with the vaccines, support with the programs, activities, and WHO also support, UNICEF also support countries who actually are willing to provide vaccines to their beneficiaries. And Nepal had started immediately after COVID-19, and so we actually initiated multiple events. For example, we actually integrate our program, immunization program, with other public health intervention. For example, vitamin A initiative, vitamin A campaign. And whenever we get opportunity, in every opportunity, we integrated routine immunization program, the screening of routine immunization starters, and then we actually achieved the target. And other country has also initiated on the same manner and same pattern, and that is how Zero country has Southeast Asia has actually led in the immunization.
Nepal's female volunteer group was also awarded by World Health Organization. How significant is the award, and does it serve as a model for other countries as well?
Yeah, I think they are totally volunteer. The female community health volunteers are they are the pillar of our public health interventions. Whatever we develop policy at the central level, that should be implemented at the community level, and they are the pillar of their community. They represent, they are the linkage, they are the bridge between health, Ministry of Health, and community and the family. And whenever we develop a message, they convey our message to the beneficiary. And they have been working in our community since for more than 35 years now. And this was the first time where we gather all the evidences, and we gather the transformative change that they have made in the community, and we submitted our report to the Zero. There was a competition between the Zero countries, and we won the competition. And based on the evidences that they have decreased the mortality, morbidity, the Zero has nominated or appointed them as a champion of public health award.
May I ask how much the Nepal government has been investing in immunization programs, and what are the future plans?
Every year, as I said, we are Gavi supported country. Every year, Gavi contribute around 60% of the total budget, and Nepal has invested more than 2 orb every year.
2 billion.
2 billion, sorry, yeah. 2
that
billion.
is barring the 60% that Gavi covers.
That includes 60%, yeah.
Okay, so 60% of 2 billion rupees or dollars?
Rupees.
Rupees is covered by Gavi. The rest is by Nepal government. There are certain vaccines that people need to buy out of pocket. Do you think this makes vaccines an item of luxury rather than basic health necessity?
Whatever the vaccine that is provided by National Nation program is totally free of cost. And we don't, even during COVID-19, though the vaccine was very costly, government of Nepal receive vaccine from donation, whatever the region, whatever the, when it is being delivered to the public need not pay any of the main money. is totally free of cost, and it is of good quality, as I said before. And the vaccine that is available in the market is being transported or delivered from the private companies, and they charge some money for the vaccines, and the government supplied vaccines are totally free of cost. And as you said, the questions of equity always, so we are also raising the same point, and they has to bear some, multiple steps. They have to go through a custom clearance, and they have to procure from, Nepal is not a vaccine manufacturing country, and they have to, they have to receive the vaccine from abroad, maybe from European countries or maybe from American countries, or from our neighboring country, and they have to invest a lot to bring the vaccine in Nepal, and that is how it is costly in the private market. And we are providing, the government of Nepal is providing the vaccine of good quality. I can guarantee you that we are providing vaccines of good quality, more quality of the vaccine that is being delivered through the private hospitals or private company.
Do you think Nepal has the experience and resources to invest and innovate vaccine and produce vaccines of its own in future?
Now, yeah, in future, of course, we have the possibility, but so we have to have manufacturing company in Nepal, but we don't have such company as of now. And I have not seen any preparations from any of the company, not even private or not from the government side. And along with that, our National Regulatory Authority has to be a level 3, and now currently we are of level 1, that is WHO accredited level 1, and we have to increase our quality as well. We have to increase our capacity as well, and we don't have that capacity as of now. So in future, of course, we can see that there is high demand also, there is high need in Nepal, and we have to manufacture in the long run.
Could you briefly explain what WHO accreditation is?
WHO has to validate, WHO has, there are multiple steps. There are multiple checklists of WHO to verify whether the government is capable to say the manufacturer is producing good vaccines or not. They have to focus on the safety of the vaccine, they have to focus on the quality of the vaccine and efficacy of the vaccine, and country has to be able to rectify all the things, all the steps of vaccine manufacturing country, and that is how they label the regulatory authority as level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 has the authority who has of best quality will get level 4, and now we are at level 1.
Level 1.
Yeah.
That's a long road ahead.
That's exactly. And the people in the regulatory authority are also trying to improve their quality as well.
We spoke about the achievements that South Asian region has made, but the region also faces still population density, migration and hard to reach communities. How do you think countries can collaborate to close these gaps?
South Asian country can close immunization gap by working collaboratively by sharing data. And CERO actually, CERO is the one who is leading in the public health program in this globe, in this part of the country, and they have been calling the government stakeholders or government decision makers to share data, and also they are also collaborating for the cold chain improvements, and there is an initiative called cross-border meetings. We are sharing boarding with Nepal and India and China, and there are frequent meetings going on with the India now, and I think we have to increase that campaign as well. That is, cross-border campaigns should be increased, and we have to harmonize schedule. There are multiple vaccination schedules in Nepal and India, and those who are migrating, those who are working here in Nepal are traveling to India, and people from India are also coming here. For travelers, I think there should be a immunization schedule that is harmonizing the schedule between the countries, and we have to exchange the best practices of the countries. Nepal has a good initiative of Immunization Act, and we are selling that. Actually, people are learning, other countries are also learning from Nepal that they have to develop Immunization Act, and they have actually started. And Bangladesh is the one who has actually started after learning from Nepal. And we have an initiative called Full Immunization Initiative, as I said, and they are also learning. People from all around the globe are actually learning, and Gavi has acknowledged that, WHO has actually acknowledged our Full Immunization Initiative. And similarly, there should be a mechanism to pull resources as well. And due to financial crisis all over the country, all over the globe now, people are questioning about the sustainability, and now there should be a mechanism to help each other. India is a vaccine manufacturing country. I think being a neighboring country should should help Nepal in terms of vaccine as well. And there are other neighboring countries actually who procure or who manufacture the vaccine. And for the neighboring country, I think there should be some mechanism to provide vaccine in cheaper amount. And we have to engage communities. We have to work together to align together, and to ultimately we are working for the people. We are working for the community, and there should be some mechanism to reach hard to reach population, and to reach the migrant, to reach the refugee, and that is what government are doing in collaboration with WHO, in collaboration with the CRO as well.
From your experience and observations so far, what do you think the global community can do differently to meet the immunization targets of 2030?
Immunization 2030 is mostly focused on zero dose and under-immunized children. Their agenda is to reduce zero dose by 50% and under-immunized children by 50%. And they have to support in big catch-up campaign as well. They have to support with the vaccines. I think they can support with the programs which Nepal has already started. For example, full immunization declaration. And we also celebrate Baisak month, the month of April, as a immunization month, while while the globe will celebrate the week of April, one of the week of April, as an immunization week. All the country has to work for the zero dose and under-immunized population. All countries should receive some support from the global agency as well, from Gavi and from WHO and UNICEF, by supplying vaccines, which the country or the children are most likely missing the dose. For example, measles, rubella, which is the last dose, and people in Nepal most likely miss the last dose of routine immunization schedule. So the country or the global partners should focus or should support the country with those vaccines.
Dr. Gautam, thank you so much for your time here on NTV World Insight.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Well, we can conclude from today's discussion that immunization is not just about vaccines. It's about equity, trust, community engagement, and global cooperation. Nepal's progress shows that even with limited resources, strong political commitment and community-driven approaches can deliver extraordinary results. As the world works toward leaving no child behind, Nepal's experience adds meaningful perspective to global immunization discussions. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Insight. Until next time.
For centuries, the Kumail community of Nepal has lived closely tied to the earth, shaping clay, cultivating land, and sustaining a cultural identity rooted in indigenous skill, craft, and tradition. Recognized as one of Nepal's marginalized indigenous nationalities, the Kumals traditionally settle in the hilly regions and inner Tarai plains. Cultural practices and oral histories indicate that they have been part of Nepal's civilization since ancient times. As inhabitants of Nepal's fertile river valleys and plains, the Kumals have carried forward a deep-rooted tradition of earthenware craftsmanship, agriculture, and a rich cultural heritage that reflects centuries of resilience and adaptation. Their pottery has been more than household utility. It has been a marker of identity, livelihood, and cultural continuity. Today, as modern vessels replace handmade earthen vessels, the Kumals find themselves preserving not only a profession but a heritage passed down through generations. According to an ancient belief, clay work began at the time of creation when Prajapati, the son of Brahma, molded the first earthen vessel using Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Vishnu. The Sanskrit term Kumbhakar, meaning pot maker, gradually transformed, becoming Kumhar and eventually Kumal. Even today, pottery remains spiritually and culturally significant for the community. In Kumal settlements, soil is not just the ground beneath their feet. It is raw material, cultural memory, and a symbol of survival. The Kumal population is spread mainly across central Tarai districts of Nepal, namely across Lumbini, Gandaki, and Bagmati provinces. Traditionally, they rely on two main occupations, agriculture and pottery. Farms provided daily sustenance, while pottery supported household needs and served as a source of income. Community life historically revolved around extended family systems, with shared labor, collective participation in rituals, and a strong sense of belonging to ancestral land. Pottery for the Kumals is a detailed, multi-stage skill passed down through generations. The process begins with identifying the right soil. Black clay, the Kalo Matu, was traditionally preferred for its strength and texture. It was collected near riverbanks, ponds, and settled waterbeds. Among Tharu Kumals, this clay is also known as Kamaune Matu, meaning clay that earns. Clay is soaked, softened, and thoroughly kneaded. Using a tool called pasur, potters slice and cleanse the clay to remove impurities. In earlier times, bamboo tools were used instead of iron. The prepared clay is stored covered, maintaining moisture for shaping. The chakra or potter's wheel remains central to Kumal identity. Hands center the clay, fingers guide it, and experience shapes it. Tools like thap and pitani help refine form and smooth surface. Large vessels, water jars, grand pots, cooking pots, and ritual vessels were once part of every Nepali household, each bearing the touch of Kumal craftsmanship. Freshly formed pots are cut from the wheel with thread or leaf strips and set to dry. First, in shade to prevent cracks, Then, under the sun, a reddish clay called kabish mato is applied for finish and strength. The firing structure, awa or auri, is built from wood, straw, husk and cow dung. Pots are stacked carefully, forming a dome-like structure covered with hay and soil. The firing process takes up to 3 days. The Kumals maintain rich intangible heritage through customs, rituals, music and dance. The Keli dance is one of the most distinctive cultural expressions of the Kumals. Traditionally performed by men dressed as women, it is associated with community celebrations and spiritual belief. The performance concludes with blessings for the household hosting the event. Marriage traditionally takes place within the community, though intercaste marriage, particularly with Magar communities, has become common.
Ada nen budi ciura. Dari pokok nen budi ciura. Pokok le budi ciura.
Samdi fight is also popular in this culture, where fathers of bride and groom go through a physical battle as a part of entertainment. A child's naming ceremony called Nwaran takes place on the 9th day for daughters and 11th day for sons, where a young unmarried girl narrates the name referred by the priest. Gon Ponni, a ritual where the mother burns bedding used during childbirth, is followed by baths. The child is then named and welcomed.
बोलाउने नाम आशिष कुमार, देवताको नाम गोविन्द कुमार, मेरो नाम सन्तोष कुमार.
Grandmothers carry babies around the home, chasing the newborn with a catapult, symbolically granting strength and sealing belonging. That rites emphasize purity, remembrance and respect. The eldest son, or the one performing final rites, often standing inside a fishing net, performs final rites reflecting links to water-based livelihood and spiritual symbolism. Among the many Kumal rituals, ancestral worship, Kul Puja is considered the most important. It is performed in remembrance of those deceased in the family and is also known as Pitri Puja. The Kul Puja honors ancestors annually, while the worship of Singh Devta, urn-shaped for his deities, highlights ties to nature and livestock protection. The Kumail people speak their own indigenous language, Kumail, which belongs to the Tibeto-Burman family. However, due to increasing influence of Nepali language and modernization, the use of Kumail language has been declining, and community efforts continue to revive it through cultural programs and schools. Most Kumails practice Hinduism, worshipping deities such as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and local protective gods and goddesses. Ancestral worship and belief in nature spirits hold deep cultural importance. Traditional attire for men includes white clothing and the dhaka topi, while women wear black blouses, traditional skirts, and red shawls, often adorned with local jewelry. With industrial materials such as aluminum, steel, and plastic replacing clay vessels, the demand for traditional pottery has sharply declined. Many Kumail families have moved to agriculture, labor, service work, or small businesses. Modern education and new employment opportunities are reshaping the choices of younger generations. Their hands do not merely shape clay, they sculpt culture, memory, and the foundation of Nepal's artistic soul. The Kumail community stands at a historic crossroads between tradition and modernity, memory and transition. Their identity is closely tied to clay, yet their future relies on adapting to changing socio-economic landscapes. Their story is not only about pottery, but resilience of a people who shaped Nepal's cultural foundation long before industry and technology. The preservation of Kumail heritage is not a matter of nostalgia. It is a recognition of indigenous knowledge, cultural diversity, and history shaped by hands that turn earth into life. If the story of Nepal is one of civilizations formed by soil and river, then the Kumail legacy will always remain at its foundation.
A city known for its legacy, Kirtipur. Locals also call it Kipu in their own dialect. It is the largest ancient settlement after Kathmandu, Lalitpur, and Bhaktapur. The city still has an impressive Malla-era neighborhood. It is also home to Taudaha, the largest lake in the Kathmandu Valley. There are temples, monasteries, bihars, and stupas for both Hindu and Buddhist devotees, along with countless festivals and ritual celebrations that altogether give Kirtipur its distinct and special character. With its ancient Newar settlements, this place is a beautiful convergence of Newar culture and heritage. The 2nd century settlements here, the temples and the stupas, along with the legends and the faiths surrounding them, are fascinating. Situated beside the Kathmandu Valley, which once was a natural lake itself, Kirtipur developed as a flourishing hub of early settlement and culture. Because of this, the area is exceptionally valuable for historical and cultural study. A long time ago, the children of Kirtipur's farming families apparently made a clay tiger to play with while herding sheep and goats. To make that tiger look even more lifelike, they wanted to add a tongue. So they left their sheep and goats nearby and went into the forest to gather leaves for it. Upon returning, the children found their sheep and goats missing. And when they investigated, the clay tiger opened its blood-red mouth and claimed to have eaten the animals. Apparently, what had happened was that the deity Bhairav, a Hindu deity, had entered the clay tiger. In their anger, the children then cursed the clay tiger so that its mouth would remain perpetually open. This is the famous legend behind the Bagh Bhairav temple as remembered by the residents of Kirtipur. Bagh Bhairav is the revered deity of Kirtipur's residents. Situated in Kirtipur, this temple is accompanied by several smaller temples, many of which can be traced back to the 2nd century according to the historical records. Among them are temples dedicated to Yamaleshwar, Narayan, Bhavani Shankar, Ramchandra, Manavinayak, Vishwakarma, Sridhar Vishnu and Mool Ganesh, all of which were constructed in the 2nd century as per many inscriptions. The historical records mention that the Bagh Bhairav temple, originally made by Shivadev, was again renovated in the 16th century by Jagatpal Varma into a 3-tiered pagoda style. This makes the temple a central attraction of Kirtipur. Most Newar settlements, which are one of Nepal's ethnic groups, are adorned with temples and stupas. So Kirtipur is home to countless temples and stupas as well, too many to count by hand. The Uma Maheshwar temple here is located at the highest point in Kirtipur. From here, one can take in panoramic views of the entire Kathmandu Valley. Swayambhu, an ancient Buddhist stupa, is clearly visible from this vantage point. It is said that the temple's elevation is roughly the same as that of Swayambhu's. On clear days, the world's highest peak, Mount Everest, can also be seen from here. Uma Maheshwar, representing the Hindu deities of Shiva and Parvati in another form, is considered a symbol of family happiness and love. The temple's tiered roofs, its design, the surrounding houses, and the views are not only beautiful but also reflect its historical significance. It is an excellent place to explore and spend an entire day. Kirtipur is special not only for Hindu devotees but also for Buddhists. Its stupas and bihars are ideal for the study, research, and promotion of Buddhism. The Chilanchu Stupa, located atop the hill, is said by historians to have been built during Emperor Ashok's visit to Nepal. Its renovation, however, took place in the 16th century during the time of Jagatpal Varma. This site is ideal for prayer and meditation. It feels like Chilanchu spreads wisdom along with its fluttering flags under the open sky. It is said that seeing the hills surrounding the Chilanchu Stupa, Prithvi Narayan Shaha, the 18th century king who unified Nepal, coveted Kirtipur. His attempts to capture Kirtipur, intended to make conquering Kathmandu, Bhaktapur and Patan easier, only succeeded on the third try. Facing south is Ratnasambhav, mounted on a horse and showing the Varad Mudra, which is a gesture of generosity and granting boons. Facing north is Amitabh, seated on a peacock in the meditation mudra, symbolizing infinite light and compassion. Facing west is Amogha, seated on a Garud with a Nag hood in Abhay mudra, a gesture of fearlessness and protection. At the center sits Vairochan, mounted on a lion and invisible, imparting profound knowledge of Buddhism. The presence of these 5 Buddhas is believed to guide those who have lost their way, whether it is in spiritual seeking or in travel. The stupas, vajras, and stone statues here are enchanting, capable of captivating visitors for hours. In Panga of Kirtipur, there is a cremation site. The deceased of the Panga community are cremated here, but this place is different from others. According to local tradition, one cannot stay behind after setting the body on fire. Normally in other places in Hindu tradition, after the cremation, the ashes are collected after a process that can take up to hours. Here, however, bodies are covered with 9 pieces of wood for adults and 7 for children, along with water-soaked straw. Then the fire is lit before it is time to leave the site. This tradition is only for the people of Panga. Next to the burial ground stands the Vishnu Devi temple, one of the several Shakti Peeth or sacred power sites of the people of Kirtipur. This stupa houses the Pancha Buddha, the depiction of 5 knowledge of Buddha. Facing east is Akshobhya, mounted on an elephant and with earth-touching gestures. The area is peaceful and known for its spiritual atmosphere. Kirtipur is not only famous for its monasteries and chaityas, it is also rich in history and culture. This place is known for its year-round festivals, rituals, and vibrant cultural way of life. Among the important festivals are the Satgaunle Jatra, Gai Jatra, Bagh Bhairav Jatra, and Indrayani Jatra. On the day of Gai Jatra, a special dance is performed here. The Dhyadhya Papa dance, also called Katmar, is a ceremonial performance where dancers in unique costumes move to traditional music. It is an integral part of Kirtipur's cultural identity. Here, visitors can also find various hotels, homestays, and Newari restaurants. The Newari-style houses and pathways decorated with traditional materials are truly captivating, and the popular Newari restaurants, which draw people from all around, are plentiful. A beautiful example of Newari culture is Newari food, which include famous dishes like bara, yomari, and samay bhaji. And visitors relish these dishes with great enjoyment. Just before entering Kirtipur, you arrive at another beautiful spot, Taudaha. Known for its environmental, cultural, and religious significance, this pond stretches about 500 meters in length and 400 meters in width. It is said to be shaped like a funnel. Believed to be dwelling place of Karkotak Nag, a serpent king in Hindu-Buddhist mythology, this lake is closely linked to the legends of Manjushri, a Hindu-Buddhist mythological figure, and the Rato Machindranath Jatra, one of Nepal's oldest chariot festivals. According to the folklore, when the Kathmandu Valley was still a lake, Manjushri cut open the hills to draw the water. The serpents living there were left without a home, so Bhimsen, a powerful heroic figure in Nepali folklore, created Taudaha to shelter them. The famous photo or vest displayed during the Rato Machindranath Jatra also traces its origins to Karkotak Nagraj and Taudaha. Legend says the vest belonged to Karkotak Nagraj, who gifted it to a farmer after the farmer cured his sick serpent queen. When the farmer later lost the vest, the dispute over who truly owned it became the story behind the festival where the vest is displayed. Taudaha is rich not only in religious and cultural significance but also in biodiversity. The area is home to 38 species of plants, 36 species of insects, and 116 types of birds. Swans gliding across the lake, birds perched in nearby trees, colorful fish swimming below, and small snakes seen occasionally along the banks. All of it make it easy to lose track of time while observing this vibrant ecosystem. In winter, birds migrate here from Siberia, Mongolia, and Tibet to escape the cold. Species such as lahare, kalihas, khoya, malak, and birds like great cormorant and Indian pond heron are also found here at Taudaha. These migratory birds travel thousands of kilometers from various countries to reach this lake. As a wetland area, Taudaha hosts water, land, vegetation, aquatic animals, amphibians, and other wildlife all in one place. For this reason, the lake attracts everyone from casual tourists to students conducting research. As tourist numbers increase, so have vendors selling fish feed around Taudaha. These traders who stay around the lake from morning to evening occasionally also encounter snakes. But believing the snakes to represent Karkotak Nagraj, the traders drive them away by just burning incense. Just before reaching Taudaha, Jobar is a unique tourist spot in Kirtipur. Manjushri Park here is one of the popular picnic destinations. The cave, Jobar Gorge, Suspension Bridge, Dalvinayak Temple, and Adinath Lokeshwar Temple are all must-visit sites. This gorge is said to be where Manjushri cut the hills to drain water from the Kathmandu Valley, making it suitable for human settlement. Therefore, this place holds historical and mythological significance. Jalvinayak Temple is located along the Bagmati River. Among Kathmandu Valley's four main Ganesh temples, Surya Vinayak, Chandra Vinayak, and Ashok Vinayak, Jalvinayak is one of them. It is built in traditional pagoda style. Toran or archways, tudal or roof struts, and gajur or pinnacles enhance its architectural beauty. So this temple is significant both for religious faith and for historical and architectural value. Spread over 14.76 square kilometers, Kirtipur has many places to explore, which cannot be fully visited in a single day. Its heritage, lifestyle, and festivals are all unique. To guide tourists before visiting, a tourist information and service center has been established. It lies near the Kirtipur's entry point. This center provides information about major tourist attractions and helps make the visit easier. Exploring Kirtipur's historical, religious, cultural, and natural sites is incredibly enchanting. These sites are witnesses to history. For research and study, visiting Kirtipur is essential. The local lifestyle, daily life, the breeze, and the scent of the soil here, all of it are very special. In modern times, as ancient civilizations threaten to vanish, Kirtipur strives to maintain its ancient identity. Its monasteries, temples, chaityas, ponds, markets, and even the language reflect this heritage. Kirtipur is not just a tourist destination, it offers experiences of meditation and knowledge, and of peace and beauty. Its stories and hospitality attract everyone. To witness and feel the unique confluence of history, culture, and nature, visiting Kirtipur is a must, not just once, but again and again.
A massive fire tore through Phuket's Chalong Pier early Wednesday morning, destroying dozens of speedboats and causing damages estimated at nearly $3 million. Authorities say the blaze broke out around 4 a.m. local time among vessels moored at the busy tourist hub. The Phuket Tourist Assistance Center first raised the alarm, prompting a swift response from emergency crews. More than a dozen fire engines and specialized fireboats battled the flames for several hours as the fire spread rapidly between closely packed vessels. The inferno has since been brought under control, though crews remain on site to monitor lingering hotspots. Police and forensic experts have launched an investigation into the cause of the fire. No injuries or fatalities have been reported. Leaders of 7 European nations on Tuesday reaffirmed that Greenland belongs to its people, stressing that decisions concerning Denmark and Greenland must be made solely by them. The joint statement released by Denmark's Prime Minister's office was signed by leaders including Denmark's Mette Frederiksen, France's Emmanuel Macron, Germany's Friedrich Merz, Italy's Giorgia Meloni, Poland's Donald Tusk, Spain's Pedro Sanchez, and Britain's Keir Starmer. The leaders underscored Arctic security as a European and NATO priority, noting the region's importance for international and transatlantic stability. They emphasized that security must be achieved collectively with allies, including the United States, under the UN Charter principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nelson said, "Dialogue with the US must respect international law," warning that our country is not an object in great power rhetoric. Meanwhile, US envoy Jeff Laundrie and President Donald Trump have voiced support for an independent Greenland, with Trump insisting the United States absolutely needs the territory and suggesting military or economic coercion could be considered. Commanders of Colombian guerrilla groups allegedly operating in Venezuela are fleeing back across the border following a United States military operation that ended with the arrest of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. A source from Colombia's security forces told that the retreat began shortly after the U.S. action, which has sent shockwaves through the region. Maduro's arrest marks a dramatic escalation in U.S. involvement in Venezuela, raising questions about the future of armed groups that have long found refuge there. Colombian authorities are now monitoring the situation closely as the sudden movement of guerrilla commanders could have significant security implications for the border region. Damascus is grappling with a severe water crisis as one of the capital's main sources, the Ain Barada spring, has dried up due to historic drought. Weekly water cuts are forcing residents to store supplies for basic needs like cooking and washing, while many are turning to bottled water. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization reports the 2025 season was Syria's driest in nearly 40 years, with climate change driving the evaporation of key springs. Officials say the collapse of the city's water system is worsened by aging infrastructure and pump failures. Mohammad Namau of the Ain Barada Water Resources Office confirmed production has dropped sharply, but a project to replace 50 pumps is underway to restore capacity. The crisis underscores the growing threat of climate change and infrastructure decay to Syria's water security. The motorcade carrying South Korean President Lee Jae-myung rolled through the streets of Shanghai this week, marking the first visit by a South Korean leader to China in 6 years. The trip underscores Seoul's effort to reset relationships with its largest trading partner while also seeking Beijing's cooperation in dealing with North Korea. President Lee's visit highlights the importance of economic and diplomatic engagement between the two nations, as South Korea looks to strengthen ties amid regional challenges. Observers say the visit could pave the way for broader dialogue on trade, security, and stability in Northeast Asia. Drivers in Venezuela's capital Caracas are facing widespread satellite navigation failures following U.S. airstrikes on January 3. Local mobile phone navigation apps, including Waze, have repeatedly malfunctioned, showing strong signals but failing to provide accurate positioning. Taxi drivers and delivery workers say the disruptions are severely impacting daily operations. The problems are linked to electronic jamming by U.S. military aircraft. A U.S. official confirmed EA-18G Growler jets were deployed during the operation that led to the arrest of President Nicolas Maduro. The high-power jamming signals are believed to have blinded Venezuela's air defense radar and disrupted civilian communications. Experts warn transportation, shipping, and aviation are likely to be hardest hit sectors as the country struggles with the fallout. 4 bronze sculptures dating back more than 1200 years have been officially returned to Thailand, following a voluntary handover by the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco. Known as the Pakron Chai Bronze Group, the artifacts include 3 bodhisattvas and 1 Buddha image. They arrived in Bangkok on December 19 and were unveiled at the National Museum during a ceremony led by Culture Minister Sabida Thaisad, who called the return a milestone for Thailand's heritage. Experts confirmed the bronzes belong to the Lopburi period of the 8th or 9th century, matching similar finds from Buriram province. The museum deaccessioned the items after research showed they had been smuggled out of Thailand decades ago. The repatriation marks another success for Thailand's efforts to recover cultural treasures abroad. The bronzes will now go on public display at the National Museum, Bangkok, reconnecting them with their original cultural context. Japan's Tamagotchi toys. The 1990s playground craze of virtual pets that demand food and attention are celebrating their 30th anniversary. Manufacturer Bandai Namco is showcasing the evolution of the iconic digital pets as a special exhibition opening to the public in Tokyo on Wednesday. The handheld devices, once a global sensation, continue to attract retro-loving Gen Z and nostalgic parents. Visitors at the exhibition say the toys remain appealing. The anniversary exhibition highlights how Tamagotchi has adapted over 3 decades while retaining its playful charm.
Welcome to the Hinterlands, this weekly show that brings you stories from the hinterlands of Nepal, takes you beyond the cities and highways into the heart of Nepal's rural landscape. It's a country alive with stories, laughter, ideas, and everyday magic. I am Rosina Rai, and we will be leading you into this journey every week. Starting with an amazing story of significant achievement Nepal has made in the field of tiger conservation. Nepal has tripled the number of wildcats in the last 2 decades, reflecting great conservation effort. Tiger census has once again begun in the country that is being carried out in the national parks on that are habitats for the magnificent Royal Bengal tigers. Let's catch up the census at Bardia National Park, the largest and most undisturbed protected area in Nepal's Tarai region. Nepal's progress in tiger conservation is widely praised as a remarkable example in the world. This significant achievement was possible through effective management of water resources, strong security measures, and the active involvement of local communities in the buffer zones.
पानीको पनि राम्रो व्यवस्थापन छ र सुरक्षाको पनि राम्रो व्यवस्था छ र मध्यवर्ती क्षेत्रका जनताहरूले पनि बाघप्रति सकारात्मक सोच राखेको हुनाले यो चाहिँ अहिले बढेकै छ.
Continuing this commitment, Nepal is conducting its 5th tiger census in Bardia National Park, renowned as one of Asia's premier destinations for observing the rare and endangered Royal Bengal tiger. Based on recent trends, the number of tigers is expected to increase in the country following this census. Nepal has been conducting nationwide tiger census every 4 years since 2009. According to the 2022 census data, Bardia National Park is home to a total of 125 tigers. Overall, Nepal has made remarkable progress by tripling its tiger population from just 121 in 2010 to 355 in 2022. The chief of the National Trust for Nature Conservation, NTNC, in Bardia stated that the current tiger census will cover not only Bardia National Park but also the Khata, a vital biological corridor in the area. In addition, efforts are underway to install more camera traps in areas with high tiger activities to ensure accurate monitoring. The success of tiger conservation in Bardia National Park is not solely the result of park management but a collective achievement involving government agencies, conservation organizations, and active participation of local communities. Covering an area of 960 square kilometers in southwestern Nepal, it is home to a rich and diverse range of flora and fauna. Meanwhile, a tourist hub in Sauraha in south-central Nepal came alive with the 19th Elephant and Tourism Festival. This festival is all about celebrating the coexistence between humans, elephants, and nature. The 3-day event features cultural shows, elephant activities, and safaris while promoting tourism and conservation. Nearly 80 elephants took part in the celebrations that also marked the English New Year. Nestled in the heart of Nepal's tourism map, Sauraha in central south is once again alive with the celebration as the 19th Chutwan Elephant and Tourism Festival starts. The 3-day Conservation Harmony Festival held annually to promote tourism highlights the unique relationship between humans, elephant, and nature. Nearly 80 elephants are taking part in the celebrations.
Chutwan Elephant Festival or Tourism Festival is most important to Nepal for tourism promotion. Animal friendly, so very nice to tourism promotion in Nepal, in animal friendly, nature friendly, very beautiful, so promote the tourism in Nepal.
The event is also important to bring government together and private sectors, showcasing Chitwan, Heart of the Jungle, as a premier safari destination in the country. To make the festival celebratory, variety of attractions like elephant decoration, elephant health camps, cultural pageantries, educational programs on elephant daily life, and traditional elephant worship are featured. Visitors can experience elephant and jeep safaris, canoe safaris up close with Chitwan's rich wildlife and natural beauty. Around 150 hotels and over 90 restaurants are all set to welcome travelers from around the world.
This is an amazing festival. This is so beautiful. I'm so happy to be here. Nepalese people are amazingly friendly. Chitwan people are incredibly sophisticated and friendly too. It is such a nice festival and it is such a nice opportunity to be part of this culture.
The festival, being organized from the last 20 years, has proved significant in boosting tourism by up to 30% each year. Nearly 300,000 tourists visit Chitwan annually. The Elephant and Tourism Festival in Sauraha long stand as a symbol of Nepal's sustainable tourism, cultural heritage, and wildlife conservation. Now, traveling to the southern region of Nepal, where we look into the story of an elderly couple. As the population is growing, they face a number of social challenges. The story of Parmeshwar Saha and Binda Devi Saha from the southern part of Nepal reflects the pain of old age. Parmeshwar Saha and Binda Devi Saha, an elderly couple from the southern part of Nepal, Siraha Mirchaya, embody the struggle faced by many in their twilight years. Once daily wage workers, they now live childless, relying solely on the majorly state-rendered old age allowance. Each day brings new challenges. Their bodies weakened by age and illness struggle with even the simplest household task. Tears in Binda Devi's eyes speaks volumes. Their bodies can no longer support them, just like the age-old roof over their heads. Their fragile hut leaks during the rains, often forcing them to sleep on the floor. Life grows harder with each passing day, and without care or support, survival seems uncertain for the sexagenarians. At times, one lies on a bed while the other must sleep on the ground, with an unsafe and open toilet nearby. With little food and no basic necessities, their fight for survival is ongoing. Their story is a stark reminder to the government and the authorities concerned to extend more support to vulnerable elderly across the country. The struggle of Parmeshwar and Binda Devi are not isolated. Studies show that 35 to 65% of elderly people face neglect and mistreatment within their families and communities. The story reflects a deeper societal issue: how we care for those who can no longer care for themselves. It is a call for compassion, action, and dignity for our elders, a reminder of our shared responsibility to share that the most vulnerable among us are not forgotten. In the aftermath of 2015 earthquake in central Nepal, government-built residential structures in Dhading were intended to provide safe and secure homes for the victims. However, earthquake survivors continue to live in precarious and unsafe areas. Millions of rupees allocated by the government have gone to waste, failing to bring the relief and the security that was promised. 10 years have passed since the devastating 2015 earthquake shook Nepal, claiming thousands of lives and leaving widespread destruction in its wake. The hardest hit district included Kathmandu, Bhaktapur, Dolakha, Gorkha, Raswa, Sinduli, Nuwakot, and others. Dhading in central Nepal was also among severely affected. Landslides and collapsed structures after 7.8 magnitude earthquake forced many residents to take shelters under the open sky, away from their homes, displaced and vulnerable in the area. In response, the government and NGOs launched housing projects aimed at providing safe, earthquake-resilient homes for the victims. 10 years on, many of these promises remain unfulfilled. Numerous homes lie unfinished or abandoned, 25 in Nilakanta municipality, over 50 in Jwalamukhi rural municipality, and several more in Ruvi Valley rural municipality. Roofs leak, wall crack, and building material rot, while families continue to endure precarious living conditions. Those who were meant to move into these homes years ago are still living in temporary shelters or with relatives, braving harsh weather and unsafe environments. Local residents now demand government accountability, urging authorities to complete the houses and honor the commitments made a decade ago. For earthquake victims, the stalled projects are not only a waste of financial resources, but also a broken promises of stability and security for them. The abandoned homes of Dhading stand as a stark reminder of the broader challenges in post-disaster reconstruction, a testament to dashed hopes and the urgent need for an action by the government and other concerned bodies. This episode of The Hinterland also embraces the story of Himalayas, where Kazinsara Lake, a newly discovered glacier lake at about 5,200 meters above the sea level located in northern part of Nepal, is awaiting wide recognition. Also a possible contender for the highest glacier lake in Nepal ahead of Tilicho. Kazinsara Lake in Manang, northern Nepal, could be the world's highest glacier lake once the geographical survey and research complete. Also known as Singer Lake, it has been recently located at the altitude of 5,200 meters above the sea level. Chairperson of the Chame Rural Municipality, Lokendra Bahadur Khale, says the lake has been named in Nepali language a Singer Lake, and they have already discussed about this lake with the Director General of the Survey Department of Nepal, and the record about the lake is not even mentioned in the data of the department. The glacier lake is awaiting precise scientific measurement and wider recognition. Nestled in the lap of the towering Himalayan peaks, including Manaslu and Annapurna, the lake is a heavenly place due to its striking blue waters. As per report, local herders in the Singer Kharka area had long known of its existence and only gained official attention a few years before Nepal Tourism Year 2019. Its discovery adds to the list of the world's highest glacier lakes, including Tilicho in the same district, and present significant potential for ecotourism development of the country. While the Chame Rural Municipality in the district is preparing for a second phase of technical and scientific surveys during the upcoming favorable season, the planned study will encompass satellite-based geographical measurements, hydrological testing, environmental risk assessments, and the joint participation of relevant government agencies. As per official consent, scientific verification of the lake's elevation, surface area, and depth has yet to be completed. Current development initiatives focus on sustainable trekking routes and environmentally conscious infrastructures. Preliminary findings suggest that the lake was formed from glacier water originating from high altitude, though its exact depth remains unmeasured. Experts says the existence of previously unidentified high altitude glacier lakes driven by geographical uplift, glacier movement, and gradual changes in water sources is a natural phenomena in Himalayan region of Nepal. Before we conclude this episode, let's go to once a thriving spot for travelers, Panchasi, a prominent hill station and pilgrimage site in Nepal's Annapurna region that has fallen silent in recent days. Hills packed with the camping tents of tourists, dining at crowded local hotels, and enjoying the breathtaking sight of the Himalayas have become a fading memory. Once a thriving spot for travelers, Panchasi, a prominent hill station and pilgrimage site in Nepal's Annapurna region, has fallen silent in recent days. Hills packed with camping tents of tourists, dining at crowded local hotels, and enjoying the breathtaking sight of the Himalayas have become a fading memory. Once a popular route for short of the beaten path treks from Pokhara, Panchasi has been largely deserted as road access and essential infrastructures have long been neglected. Of the 50 households that once thrived, only 8 remain after large migration trend in the area.
विगतका दिनहरुमा यहाँ स्वदेशी तथा विदेशी पर्यटकहरुको उपस्थिति एकदमै खचाखच रूपमा रहन्थ्यो। पछिल्लो दिनहरुमा यहाँ आउँदाखेरि होटलको संख्या घट्दो अनि ठाउँ सुनसान जस्तो देखियो।
Locals lament that lack of basic infrastructure, including schools, healthcare services, and a reliable road, citing these as the main reasons behind the decline. Tourism, which was once the backbone of the village economy, has vanished due to high cost of food or lodging caused by poor inland connectivity. Bordering two hilly districts, Sangja and Kaski, Panchasi has struggled to secure development budgets from the Gandaki provincial government. Experts warn that Pansasi's decline is not an isolated case but part of a broader trend across Nepal, where inadequate infrastructure drives migration and neglects promising tourist destinations. Local representatives emphasize that federal, provincial, and local governments must coordinate effectively, prioritizing the development of roads, schools, and health services to revive both tourism and the livelihoods. As a sacred pilgrimage site for both Hindus and Buddhists, Pansasi offers a spiritual allure alongside its natural beauty. With its immense tourism potential, the region awaits better attention and investment from all three tiers of the government. Beyond the cities and the headlines, real lives continue to unfold. Stories are shaped by struggle, strengthened by resilience, and carried forward by hope. This is the hinterland, and we will be back next week with more stories from Heart of Nepal. Once again, this is Rosina Rai. Goodbye for now.
people pass through Himalayan villages, they engage with locals, government officials, Nepal Army, guides, porters, and tourists, gathering fresh insight about the Everest region.
It was a really good experience. It was really cold, but not that hard.
On the first day of the boot camp, we overcame every obstacle to reach Monjo at 2,835 meters in the Dukkosi Valley. We passed through Phakting, which is at 2,610 meters. After walking for more than 6 hours from Lukla, the team members were exhausted. Each evening, program directors, mentors, and participant journalists would sit together to casually discuss the day's experience and plan the schedule for the next day. Data collection and interviews were carefully organized during these meetings. Informal conversation and interactions with locals played a key role in the boot camp.
We are going to interact with stakeholders. That means you may know about the environmental issues, garbage, and other things. So, Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee, SPCC, that is the key stakeholder in the region.
To mark World Press Freedom Day on May 3rd, an interactive program was held at Sagarmatha National Park, focusing on the importance of press freedom for science journalists. The event brought together local Sherpa business people, environment activists, government officials, representatives from Sagarmatha Pollution Control Committee, the park warden, political leaders, and trekking guides, among others.
7,000 को हाराहारीमा छ population 7,000 population 7,500 त्यस्तै हाराहारीमा छ गाउँ चाहिँ कतिवटा छ ठ्याक्कै 10 मा मोटामोटी त्यही 12-15 वटा गाउँहरु छन् तो आपके इसमें भी ऐसे बफर जोन रहता है बफर कोर एरिया रहता है कोर में अलाउड नहीं है पर बफर में रह सकते no there is the village inside the core also as well as in the buffer also okay this modality is totally different from the modality of Tarai and the national park which you said that is right India.
The discussion centered on the press freedom and the impact of climate change on the livelihoods of the people in the Himalayan region. The next morning after breakfast, we visited Kancha Sherpa, member of Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay Sherpa's Everest expedition team.
Guru ko leader John Hen.
यहाँ छेउमै रुख छ रुख काटेर 10 वटा रुख भइगयो बेस क्याम्प गयो बेस क्याम्प पुगेपछि अनि आइसफलमा त्यो रुखको साङ्गो थापेर अनि हामी क्याम्प 1 बनायो अनि त्यही क्याम्प 1 बनाएपछि त त्यहाँबाट त अनि सबै सजिलो छ अनि त्यसो गरेर क्याम्प 2 मा सबै सी लेभल छ क्याम्प 3 मा पनि दुःख छैन अनि क्याम्प 4 मा चाहिँ अनि साउथ कोन हो अनि हामी त्यसो गरेर अनि एभरेस्ट चढेको हामी चाहिँ गएन अनि हेलेर र तेन्जिङ चाहिँ हामीले साउथ समिटमा पुर्यायो अक्सयहरू भोग्यो र पालाहरू भोग्यो र माथि साउथ समिटमा पुर्याएर हामी चाहिँ साउथ खोलमा सुत्न आयो.
Afterwards, we headed to the picturesque Himalayan villages of Khumzung, situated at 3,800 meters. Development of Khumzung began after the historic 1953 Everest climb by Hillary and Norgay. With the establishment of Kunde Hospital and Khumzung School by Hillary, there was significant improvements in health, education, and the overall livelihood of the local community. The team walked along steep trails, greeted by blooming rhododendrons, and reached Tengbote at 3,867 meters on the 4th day, where they spent the night. On the 5th day, they continued their journey, noticing changes in the Himalayas as the snow-covered peaks were now turning black. On the way to Dingboche at 4,410 meters, snowfall greeted them. To acclimatize to the altitude, the team stay in Dingboche on the 6th day. On the 7th day, they moved on to Lobuche, crossing the steep Thukpa Pass. In the evening, they reached the Pyramid International Laboratory and Observatory in Lobuche at 5,060 meters, the world's highest altitude laboratory. During this, they also had an insightful interaction session with an international glaciologist, learning about the changes at Everest Base Camp.
Finally, we made it to the base camp. This base camp is an altitude of 5,364 meters and is the part of the Himalayan Climate Boot Camp. And we have 13 journalists from different countries, especially from the SAARC region. From Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, and Nepal, and is the historic event, and is the first event that journalists have came from the sea level to the highest level to conduct a boot camp, and we have a very lifetime experience, and we observed different issues like glacier melting, status of base camp, every base camp, and we met different stakeholders like climbers, government officials, and we have the concluding ceremony in the base camp, and we have government officials, Mr. Himlal Gautam.
On the
वादी नीलम जो है ये चिलाने से शुरू होता है तो भट तक, ये एक पूरे एक वादी है और इसको वादी नीलम कहते हैं। और हमारा गांव जो है ये दुबारियाँ शहरी ये हमारा गांव है, और ये गांव तकरीबन यहाँ ये ऊपर और ये जगह भी उसी में शामिल है जिस जगह हम बैठे हुए हैं, ये भी दुबारियाँ शहरी में शामिल है। और हमारे गांव की आबादी तकरीबन जो है ये 250 घराना है, तकरीबन 3000 की आबादी पर मुश्तमिल ये गांव हमारा है। इस इलाके में जो है ये एक तो चश्मे है ज़्यादा उनका है, दूसरा फिर जंगलात है। जंगलात में ये हरे हरे दरख्त हैं जिसमें देवदार भी है, फर भी है, काइल भी है। ये सब्ज़ा ज़्यादा होता है और सब्ज़ा की वजह से फिर ऊंची ऊंची पहाड़ियाँ हैं, ये बहते हुए दरिया, इसकी वजह से इसके अंदर ज़्यादा खूबसूरती है। फिर बिलखुसूस यहाँ पर रत्ती गली जो है ये तो सब यहाँ मशहूर जगह है, बहुत खूबसूरत झील है वहाँ पर, और ये पूरा इलाका बड़ा खूबसूरत इलाका है। पहले ज़माने में जब हम लोग छोटे छोटे थे ना, उस वक्त ये था कि यहाँ बिजली और दीगर चीज़ का कोई इंतज़ाम नहीं था। हम लोग ये क्या करते थे, छोटे छोटे जब स्कूल पढ़ते थे तो हम ये देवदार जो है दरख्त, इसकी वो लकड़ियाँ नीचे से निकालते थे छोटी छोटी, जिसको हम अपनी ज़ुबान में दिल्ली कहते हैं। कुछ अरसे बात हुआ है ये लालटेनें जो हैं ये आई, और इसमें हम तेल लाते थे, वो तेल डालकर बस थोड़ी देर के लिए जलाते थे ताकि तेल भी थोड़ा इस्तेमाल हो, इसलिए कि पसमानदा इलाका था, इधर इतने वो वसाइल नहीं थे कमाई के, दीगर मामलात नहीं थे जिसकी वजह से लोग ये चीज़ों को इस्तेमाल कर सकें। टीवी भी नहीं था, दीगर और ज़रूरियात भी नहीं थे, ये मोबाइल वगैरह ये कुछ भी नहीं था, तो जिसकी वजह से बिल्कुल ये था, ये समझ लें कि हम पत्थर के ज़माने में रहते थे। तो हमने सोचा यार हमारा गांव सबसे पीछे है, लिहाजा हम सोचेंगे यहाँ पर तरक्की होनी चाहिए, हमारे गांव के लोग आगे जाएं। लकड़ का ये टरबाइन बनाया और पहली लाइट जो है ये मस्जिद में जलाई, वो जब एक बल्ब जला उसकी रोशनी, तो हमें उम्मीद होगी कि हम ये काम कर सकते हैं। फिर हम अपने गाँव वालों के साथ मिले कि भाई आओ हम मिलकर मुश्तरका तौर पर इस काम को करते हैं। तो हम 2003 में पहली मरतबा जब हमने इस बिजली का जो इब्तदा किया है, 2 गाँव में हमने बिजली का इंतज़ाम कर लिया, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह उसके बाद ये इंतज़ाम शुरू हुआ, जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी सारी तरक्की भी हुई गाँव में अंदर और बहाली भी आई। इस बिजली की वजह से हमारे जंगलात जो हैं ये थोड़े बहुत महफूज हो गए। फिर अच्छे तरीके से जो बच्चे तालीम हासिल नहीं कर सकते थे, जिनके पास वसाइल कुछ भी नहीं थे, अब वो बच्चे आकर अपनी तालीम, मसलन दिन को स्कूल जाते हैं दूर दराज, शाम को जब वापस आते हैं रात 11 बजे तक बैठकर, रोशनी का इंतज़ाम है, उसमें अपने स्कूल का वो जो सबक उस्तादों ने रात का काम होमवर्क घर का दिया होता है वो उसको कर लेते हैं, उसमें आसानी हो जाती है, ये दुश्वारी नहीं होती।
हमने अगर किसी को बुरे वक्त में छोड़ दिया, हमने अगर किसी का साथ नहीं दिया, तो अल्लाह भी आगे नाराज होकर अल्लाह ने हमारे लिए भी मुसीबत ला दी।
तमाम शहरी कानून की नज़र में बराबर है और कानूनी तहफ़्फ़ुज़ के मुसावी तौर पर हकदार है। जिन्स की बिना पर कोई
उसके हवाले से फिर हम इसके लिए पुलिस का इंतज़ाम करते हैं, इसके लिए बेल्ट का इंतज़ाम करते हैं, और जो बंदा हमने मुलाज़म रखा है उसको खोलने बंद करने का, चलाने का, लाइन में बुलाने की करता है, जो उसमें अखराजात होते हैं, इसकी ज़रूरियात होती है, तो जब आप लोग हमें नहीं, इसका हमने ऐसा अपना सिस्टम रखा हुआ है कि हम जो हमारे 3 गांव हैं यहाँ से ऊपर, उनमें हम महीने में 1 मरतबा उनके साथ मीटिंग करते हैं, उन सब मेम्बरान को जमा करते हैं। एक कमेटी बनी हुई है, 6 रुकनी कमेटी है, तो उसमें बाकायदा एक सदर है, जनरल सेक्रेटरी वगैरह, ये सारा पूरा एक सेटअप है। तो जब हम बैठते हैं कि भाई अब इसको हम आगे इसके अंदर कोई बेल्ट की ज़रूरत है, ग्रीस की ज़रूरत है, दीगर जो भी ज़रूरियात हैं, तो उनके साथ हम बैठ कर मीटिंग करते हैं। तो हमको जो चीज़ ज़रूरत पड़ती है कि अब इस पर इतने अखराजात हैं या इसकी नाली जो है वो टूट जाती है, उसके लिए ज़रूरियात पड़ती है, तो हम आपस में बैठकर कुछ पैसे जमा कर लेते हैं। तकरीबन 16 अगस्त 2022 को जब फ्लड आया तो उस फ्लड में ये सारा कुछ सिस्टम तबाह हो गया था। 2 जनरेटर हमने लगाए हुए थे, 15 kV का वहाँ पर था और 30 kV का इधर था। तो ये वो भी दोनों ख़त्म हो गए, उनका कुछ भी नहीं मिला। ये टर्बाइन थी, इसको तोड़ दिया था। ये पुली नई हमने मंगवाई, ये भी, ये नलके जो सब थे, ये नया सिस्टम हमने पूरा किया इसका। तो जब ये बिजली आ गई ना, तो इसकी वजह से ये हुआ कि जो हमारे मुतल्लिकीन थे उन्होंने गेस्ट हाउस बनाए। जब गेस्ट हाउस बना दिए तो उनके अंदर ये हुआ कि जब ये टूरिज़म आते थे वहाँ पर उनको इंटरनेट और दीगर सहूलियात मैसर होती थी। जब बिजली होती है तो फिर वो सारी सहूलियात उनको मैसर हो जाती हैं। तो इससे ये हो गया खुशहाली होगी। फिर लोगों जब टूरिज़म आना शुरू हो गए तो लोगों ने अपनी जीपें ख़रीद ली, कुछ लोगों ने अपने घोड़े ले लिए। तो जीपों पर यहाँ से आगे रत्ती गली तक ले जाते हैं। 18 किलोमीटर का फासला जो है वहाँ पर लोग चले जाते हैं। वहाँ से आगे तकरीबन 2 किलोमीटर या 1.5 किलोमीटर है, वहाँ पर घोड़ों के ज़रिए से लोग ऊपर झील पर पहुँच जाते हैं। वहाँ पर रोज़गार मुहैया हो गया लोगों को।
तो इधर 15 साल पहले लाइट आई है, हाइडल पावर, तो इधर अपना हाइडल पावर बनाया। फिर पहले लाइट का बहुत ज़्यादा इशू था, लाइट नहीं थी, हाइडल पावर बने, मिल के सब लोगों ने काम किए, तो अब कोई मसला नहीं है लाइट का। टूरिस्ट वगैरह भी आते हैं तो आसानी से कमाई होती है। हमारे जो मर्द हजरात हैं वो उधर टूरिस्ट उधर होते हैं, गेस्ट हाउस पे होते हैं, तो उधर वो चला रहे हैं, तो घर पे हम खाना बना के ख़वातीन हजरात भेजती हैं उधर खाना, मिल के हम काम करते हैं सारे। तो गुजारा सही है, अच्छी तरह से, गुजारे से भी सही है, अच्छा बनता है, सब कुछ निज़ाम सही चलता है।
तकरीबन 11 साल हो गए मुझे यहाँ टूरिज़म पे काम करते हुए। और जब हम इस वैली में आए थे 20 साल पहले फायर आया, जब हम इस वैली में आए थे तो उस वक्त कुछ भी नहीं था यहाँ। और ये हमने तकरीबन 2005 में ये वैली ओपन हुई थी और उसके बाद 2008 में ये बिल्डिंगें लीज़ पे गई हैं और 2012 में हमने इसको स्टार्ट लिया है। तो उसके बाद हमने काम करते करते माशाल्लाह अभी काफ़ी टूरिज़म भी बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है। और उसके बाद अभी काफ़ी लोगों ने गेस्ट हाउस भी बना लिए हैं यहाँ पे।
हमारे इलाके में जब जगह कम हो जाती है, गेस्ट हाउस में जगह नहीं होती, तो फिर अपने घरों में भी जो कमरे इजाफी होते हैं उनमें इनको ठहरा देते हैं। जब वो आते हैं उनको देसी खाना हम लोग खिलाते हैं। जब वो लोग खाते हैं ये चीज़ें देसी, वो खुश होते हैं, तो वो अपने तौर पर तोहफे के तौर पर जो है उन लोगों के साथ जो जो भी अपने घर में रखते हैं वो ताउन कर लेते हैं।
Nepal's festivals are like colors on a canvas. Communities celebrate occasions that are as diverse as the country itself. These festivals hold deep personal meaning for individuals, going far beyond mere celebration. They are not just events. They are emotional, cultural, and spiritual lifelines that nurture identity, community, and inner happiness. For Nepalis, every festival, whether it honors gods, ancestors, nature, or the cycle of seasons, is ultimately a celebration of life itself. Birth, life, and death are all celebrated with utmost joy and separate rituals as per the communities. It's a reminder that life, like the changing seasons, is full of both light and shadow, and each festival teaches to embrace both with gratitude.
हरेक चाडपर्वमा एउटा एउटा हैन धान रोप्दाखेरि खेतमा हामी पूजा गरेर हुन्छौं धान थन्काउँदा हामीले हवन गरेर हुन्छौं नुहाई खाने भनेर भनिन्छ नवान्न प्राशनको विधानहरू छुट्टै छ त्यो सम्पूर्ण कुराहरूले हाम्रो प्रकृतिमा पनि त्यति नै सुप्रभाव पार्छ र मान्छेको शरीरमा मनमा र आत्मासम्म पनि यसले सुप्रभाव पार्छ आनन्द दिन्छ सत र चित राम्रो आनन्द र चिरकालसम्म रहने टिकाउ आनन्द दिन्छ भन्ने मान्यताले गर्दा फेरि यो सबै चाडपर्वहरू हामी मनाइरा हुन्छौं.
Major Hindu celebrations like Dasai and Tihar unite families in devotion and joy and is celebrated by majority of Nepalis. While Buddha Jayanti, Loshar, Sakela Udhauli, Shakela Ubhauli, Maghi Shankranti or Maghi showcase the spiritual and cultural vibrancy of Buddhist, Kirat and indigenous communities. Festivals such as Indrazatra, Gaizatra and Yomari Punhi blend history with celebration. For women, Tees and Rishi Panchami serve as expressions of faith and sisterhood. And in the Tarai, Chhat embodies purity, discipline and devotion to the sun and nature.
भौगोलिक हिसाबले सानो भइकन फेरि कस्तो भने जात जातिको हिसाबले पनि थुप्रै ट्राइबहरू भएको यो सबै एउटै जातिको मात्रै छैन तर हामीका धार्मिक सहिष्णुता छ रिलिजियस टलरेन्स भन्छौं त्यो विश्वलाई हामीले दिएको एउटा उदाहरण हो हामीका हिन्दूहरुको चाडपर्व पनि बौद्धहरुले पनि मनाउँछन् इस्लामहरुले पनि मनाइराखेका हुन्छन् नितान्त हिन्दूहरुको जस्तो लक्ष्मी पूजाको कुरा गर्यो दशैंकी कुरा गर्यो यहाँ राष्ट्र प्रमुखहरु भएको बेलामा हिन्दूहरु बाहेक अन्य धर्मावलम्बीहरु पनि टीका थाप्नलाई हामीका आशीर्वाद लिने चलन छ त्यो लिनलाई गइराखेका हुन्छन्.
Festivals here reflect its rich cultural diversity and deep sense of community. Shared laughter, music and rituals foster emotional healing and strengthen social bonds. Experts say gatherings and celebrations nurture positivity, hope and meaning.
यो त एकदमै ठूलो कस्तो कुरा रहेछ भने यो रिचार्ज गर्ने भन्छ नि हामी गरिरहेको परम्पराबाट गरिरहेको यस्ता कार्यहरू गर्दा चाहिँ हामीमा के हुन्छ त स्वतस्फूर्त रूपमा हामी चाहिँ नि एकदम फेरि अब हामीलाई एउटा भित्रबाट पनि शान्ति मिल्छ सुख मिल्छ त्यसकारण यो चाहिँ आवश्यकै चीज हो.
Amid modernization, festivals remain vital anchors connecting people to their culture and roots. The togetherness of families, the glow of butter lamps in monasteries during Loshar, and the rhythm of dhime drums in Nevari processions all tell the same story. Nepal is a land where festivals are the very heartbeat of its people.
Energy Minister Kulman Gising resigns from the cabinet. Gising steps down following Prime Minister Karki's request. Nominations for January 25 National Assembly elections closed with 44 candidates for 18 seats. Nepali Congress faces internal crisis over conventions. Disgruntled faction announced special general convention next week. US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military. Such comes as European leaders issue statement rallying behind Denmark. Top athletes honored in Pulsar Sports NSJF Award 2022. Deepinder Singh Ohri crowned Player of the Year. An ICC Men's T20 World Cup trophy tour concludes in Nepal. 3-day tour culminates in iconic Bauddhanath Stupa celebration in Kathmandu. Hello there, I'm Smita Gising Thamang and this is NTV World News Hour coming to you live from Kathmandu at 2200 hours Nepal time. The news in detail. In a recent political events, Energy Minister Kulman Gising has tendered his resignation. Gising announced his resignation at a press conference held at the Ministry of Energy. Gising was appointed minister on 15th of September in the citizen government formed following the Gen Z movement. Prime Minister Sushila Karki had assigned him the responsibilities of the Ministry of Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation, Ministry of Physical Infrastructure and Transport, and Ministry of Urban Development. While serving as the Chief Executive Officer of the Nepal Electricity Authority, Minister Gising had registered the Ujalo Nepal Party under his own patronage. He had reached an agreement to merge with the Rashtriya Swatantra Party RSP as its vice chairman and was preparing to participate in the upcoming elections. During his tenure as a minister in the non-partisan government, there were calls for Gising to resign for being involved in RSP's political activities. Following public criticism and questions on social media about minister's political involvement, Prime Minister Karki requested his resignation at the cabinet meeting on Monday. The Election Commission has completed the filing of nominations for the National Assembly election. A total of 44 candidates have filed nominations for 18 seats across 7 provinces. In Koshi province, 6 nominations have been filed for 3 seats, while Madhya province has 11 nominations for 4 seats. Bagmati and Gandaki provinces each have 6 nominations for 2 seats. Lumbini has 8 nominations for 3 seats, and Karnali and Sudur Paschim provinces each have 4 nominations for 2 seats. The Commission has announced that objections to nominations can be filed tomorrow and candidates may withdraw by January 11, while the final list will be published the same day. The National Assembly election is scheduled for 25th of January. Nepali Congress is facing growing confusion as disputes over its general and special conventions escalate. Supporters of a special convention have announced that for January 11 and 12 in Kathmandu, with party general secretaries Gagan Thapa and Vishwa Prakash Sharma urging participation. Meanwhile, Chief Secretary at Central Party Secretariat Krishna Prasad Paudel says only the Central Committee has the authority to call a convention, asking members not to join the unsanctioned meeting. The party remains divided over regular and special conventions, raising concerns about internal unity and potential impacts on national politics. U.S. President Donald Trump has been discussing a range of options to acquire Greenland, including use of the military, the White House has said. An international media quoting the White House said, acquiring Greenland, a semi-autonomous region of fellow NATO member Denmark, was a national security priority. The statement came hours after European leaders issued a joint statement rallying behind Denmark, which has been pushing back against Trump's ambitions for the Arctic island. Trump repeated over the weekend that the U.S. needed Greenland for security reasons, prompting Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen to warn that any attack by the U.S. would spell the end of NATO. The issue of Greenland's future resurfaced in the wake of the U.S. military intervention in Venezuela, during which allied troops seized the country's President Nicolas Maduro and took him to face drugs and weapons charges in New York. Nepali cricket all-rounder and national team vice-captain Deependra Singh Oiri has been named Player of the Year at the Pulsar NSJF Awards 2082. The award was presented at a ceremony organized by the Nepal Sports Journalists Forum NSJF at Province Hall in Pokhara. Volleyball player Himal Sunari won the People's Choice Award, while cricketer Pooja Mahato was named Young Player of the Year. The forum honored athletes and sports personalities across 10 categories, including Team of the Year and Lifetime Achievement Awards. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 Trophy Tour concluded in Nepal on Wednesday with a landmark public display at the Bodhanath Stupa in Nepal's federal capital Kathmandu, one of the country's most revered UNESCO World Heritage Sites, marking a historic and emotionally charged moment for Nepali sports. The three-day tour, the first ever visit of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy to Nepal, has been hailed as a defining milestone in the nation's cricketing journey and its growing presence on the global sporting map. The final day showcase at Bodhanath brought together cricket fans, tourists, monks and local residents. Nominations are in for the National Assembly election, with 44 candidates competing for 18 seats, setting the stage for the January 25 upper house polls. At the same time, the Nepali Congress is grappling with a deepening internal rift over its regular and proposed special conventions. More on these key political developments coming up in our cover story of the day. You're watching NTV World and this is the News Hour. Now we're turning to our cover story of the day. The Election Commission has completed receiving nominations for the National Assembly election, with 44 candidates registering for 18 seats across 7 provinces. This sets the stage for the upcoming polls on January 25 election for the upper house of Nepal's parliament. Pavana Casey takes a look.
Nepal's Election Commission has completed nomination process for the upcoming National Assembly elections. A total of 44 candidates have filed nominations for 18 seats across the country. In Kosi province, Sunil Bahadur Thapa of the Nepali Congress has been elected unopposed. Although 5 candidates had filed nominations in the province, no other candidate contested under the open category, allowing Thapa to secure the seat uncontested. From the Congress UML alliance, Somportel of UML and Rosani Mechi under the women's category filed nominations, while the Communist Party of Nepal NCP nominated Khemraj Sundas under the Dalit category and Namita Neupane under the women's category. Other candidate, Hemraj Ghimire, was absent. In Madhya province, 11 candidates have filed nominations for 4 National Assembly seats. Party's nominated candidates include the Congress UML Alliance, the Maoist-centered Lokatantrik Samajwadi Party Nepal and Janata Samajwadi Party Nepal. Lokatantrik Samajwadi Party Nepal's chairman Mahanta Thakur filed a nomination supported by JSPN. JSPN has also nominated Sailesh Chaudhary, Chanda Shah and Chameli Devi Das. From the NCP, Samu Pashwan, Ramnandan Prasad, Lakshman Paudel and Sami Kumari Agrawal filed nominations. The Congress UML Alliance nominated Amrinder Paswan, Ranjit Karna and Rekha Jhale. In Bagmati province, 6 candidates filed nominations for 2 seats, 1 for women and 1 for the general category. Nepal Workers and Peasants Party nominated Kavita Maharjan and Bikram Dhukuche. The Congress UML Alliance nominated Prem Prasad Nangal and Geeta Devkota, and the NCP nominated Prem Prasad Sapkota and Saroj Jhale. In Gandaki province, 6 candidates have filed nominations for 2 National Assembly seats. The Nepali Congress and UML filed joint nominations, UML's Samjana Devkota and Nepali Congress's Jagat Timel Sinha. Other nominations include Kapil Lama and Goma Ghimire Luitel from the NCP and Lakshmi Baskota and Sankar Baral from the Rashtriya Jana Morcha. In Lumini province, 8 candidates have filed nominations for the 3 seats. The Congress UML Alliance nominated Chandra Bahadur Kesi, Ramkumari Jhakri and Basudev Ghimire Jangali. The NCP nominated Brihaspati Adhikari, Durga Bhandari and Sarjan Biko. Rashtriya Jana Morcha nominated Padma Pandit and Bom Bahadur Khatri. In Karnali province, 4 candidates filed nominations. UML nominated Meena Singh Rakal, Nepali Congress nominated Lalit Jang Shahi and NCP nominated Anju Mahatara and Buddhi Prasad Sarma. In Sudupasim province, nominations were filed by UML, Nepali Congress and NCP. According to an agreement between Congress and UML, each party filed 1 candidate, Khamba Khati from the Congress and Leela Bhandari from the UML. The NCP filed nominations for Rosi Basnet Sunar and Tikaram Jaisi. The Election Commission has scheduled objections to nominations on January the 8th, with candidates able to withdraw by January the 11th. The final list of candidates will be published the same day and election symbols will be distributed on January the 12th. Voting for the National Assembly is scheduled for January 25, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The 18 seats in the National Assembly will become vacant starting March the 4th. Provincial Assembly members and local level chiefs and deputies are eligible to vote in the National Assembly elections.
In the upcoming National Assembly elections on 25th of January, candidates from the coalition of the Nepali Congress and CP and UML are projected to win. Unlike general elections where all citizens can vote, only previously elected provincial assembly members and local level chiefs and deputy chiefs will vote in this election, making it possible to estimate the results in advance. In most National Assembly elections, political bodies usually form electoral alliances. This time, based on vote weight, the Nepali Congress leads in 6 provinces, while CP and UML leads in 1 province, Koshi, forming an electoral coalition with JSP and LSP. In all 6 provinces, Congress holds the largest vote weight, with UML in 2nd place. Since only provincial assembly members and local level chiefs and deputy chiefs vote, the outcome of the election is predictable. In all 7 provinces, the coalition's combined vote weight exceeds the majority threshold. In some provinces, because JSP and LSP are also part of the coalition, the combined vote weight of the alliance exceeds even 2/3. Historically, party alliances in National Assembly elections have shifted, with previous elections seeing Congress and the Maoists aligned, while UML and Maoists cooperated during leadership elections. The National Assembly has 59 members, 56 elected, 8 from each province, and 3 nominated by the President. 1/3 of members are elected every 2 years, with initial terms staggered at 2, 4 and 6 years, after which all serve 6-year terms as per constitutional provisions. Nepali Congress is facing a serious internal dispute over its regular and special conventions. Supporters of a special convention have announced it for January 11 and 12 in Kathmandu, with more than 54% of delegates backing the move. 18 subcommittees have been formed and delegates have been urged to attend. The dispute emerged after the regular convention was postponed and General Secretaries Gagan Thapa and Vishwa Prakash Sharma are leading the push for the special convention. Party leaders continue discussions while central members insist the Congress will move forward unitedly.
नेपाली कांग्रेसको कोही केन्द्रीय सदस्य पदाधिकारी कोही आउनु भएन भने पनि नेपाली कांग्रेसले 54.58% महाधिवेशन प्रतिनिधिमध्ये ज्येष्ठ सदस्यको अध्यक्षतामा यो विशेष महाधिवेशन बस्छ, त्यसले नेतृत्व चयन गर्छ, नीति बनाउँछ, कार्यदिशा तय गर्छ र नेपाली कांग्रेस आधिकारिक त्यही नै हुन्छ। त्यसले नै केन्द्रीय समिति त्यसपछि त्यो कार्य समितिले 15 महाधिवेशन गराउँछ। त्यसकारण हाम्रो आग्रह छ, हामी केन्द्रीय समिति म आफै पनि छु, हाम्रो आग्रह हो पार्टी सभापति स्वयं आएर यसलाई भोलि त्यो अवस्थामा गुज्रिने अवस्था नपरादिनुहोस्, हाम्रो त्यो आग्रह।
दुईटैलाई एकताबद्ध भएर हामी लान्छौँ। विशेष महाधिवेशनलाई हामीले नीतिगत महाधिवेशनका रूपमा लान सक्यौँ भने अझ राम्रो हुनेछ। नेतृत्व भन्दा पनि नीति कस्तो बनाउने, अब आगामी महाधिवेशन केही दिन पछाडि आएकै महाधिवेशनमा नीति कस्तो बनाउने र कांग्रेसलाई कसरी अझ युवा पुस्ताको आकर्षक, बुढा पुस्ताले पनि ठीक गरे है नयाँ पुस्ताले भन्ने कसरी बनाउन सकिन्छ भनेर जाने वातावरण हामी सिर्जना गर्छौँ।
And that's a wrap on our cover story this hour. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 trophy wraps up its historic first tour of Nepal, igniting excitement from both the north to beyond. With Nepal set to return to the World Cup stage and top athletes honoured at the Pulsar NSJF Awards, cricket fever is clearly on the rise. All this and public reaction coming up in our issue of the day. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 trophy wrapped up its historic first Nepal tour Wednesday at the UNESCO-listed Bodhanath Stupa. The visit sparked nationwide excitement, reinforcing cricket's unifying power and Nepal's growing presence on the global stage. Sabika Shrestha brings more.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 trophy tour concluded in Nepal on Wednesday with a landmark public display at the Bodhanath Stupa in Nepal's federal capital Kathmandu, one of the country's most revered UNESCO World Heritage Sites, marking a historic and emotionally charged moment for Nepali sport. The 3-day tour, the first ever visit of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup trophy to Nepal, has been held as a defining milestone in the nation's cricketing journey and its growing presence on the global sporting map. The final day showcase at Bodhanath brought together cricket fans, tourists, monks and local residents. The trophy's Nepal tour began with a high-profile unveiling at Shital Nivas, where President Ramchandra Paudel and national men's team captain Rohit Kumar Paudel jointly revealed the iconic silverware. Calling the moment a source of national pride, President Paudel said the trophy's arrival sent a strong message worldwide that Nepal is emerging as a center of global cricket.
विश्वकपको ट्रफी नेपाल आगमन हुनु हाम्रो देशका लागि अत्यन्तै गौरवपूर्ण र सम्मानजनक क्षण हो। यस ऐतिहासिक अवसरले नेपाल विश्व क्रिकेटको केन्द्रतर्फ अग्रसर भइरहेको सन्देश विश्वभर फैलाएको छ।
From Kathmandu, the trophy travelled to Pokhara, where it was displayed at the Pokhara cricket ground before being showcased against the scenic backdrop of Pheva Lake. The tour in Nepal also coincided with the unveiling of the official T20 World Cup jerseys of Nepal's men's and women's teams during a special event organized by the Cricket Association of Nepal, CAN. The event further energized fans ahead of Nepal's participation in the global tournament and the upcoming Women's T20 World Cup global qualifier set to be hosted in Nepal. Globally, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 trophy tour with DP World began with a dramatic paramotor launch over Adams Bridge, also known as Ramasetu, symbolically linking co-hosts India and Sri Lanka. The trophy tour has travelled across Asia, including India, Sri Lanka, Qatar, Oman, Nepal, Bahrain and Mongolia, with fan meets, campus visits and public activations aimed at inspiring the next generation of cricketers. For Nepal, the tour's conclusion at Bodhanath Stupa stands as a powerful symbol where global sport meets ancient heritage. The coveted trophy's presence and tour to Nepal is likely to boost confidence and inspire young players and reinforce its place in the international cricketing community.
As the trophy tour departs Nepal, it not only leaves the memories and beautiful photographs, but it also leaves a renewed belief that Nepali cricket is rising higher on the world stage. Sabika Shrestha with camera person Samir Thapa reporting for NTV World.
Nepal is set to make its third appearance at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, being held next 2 months in India and Sri Lanka. Nepal joins Group C alongside England, West Indies, Bangladesh and Italy as the team aims to showcase its rising stature in international cricket. April Agising Lama brings a report.
Nepal is making its presence at the Global T20 World Cup stage for the third time in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026, which will be co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. From February 7 to March 8, Nepal has been pitted in Group C alongside England, West Indies, Bangladesh and Italy. Nepal made its T20 World Cup debut in 2014 in Bangladesh, winning 2 of 3 group stage matches but missing out on the knockout stage. After that, the team missed several editions because they were unable to secure qualification through the Asia and global qualifiers, facing stiff competition from stronger Asian teams and the challenges of being an emerging cricket nation with limited international experience. They returned in 2024 in the USA and West Indies, securing qualification through the Asia qualifier semi-final against the UAE, marking a decade since their first appearance. This 2026 spot was earned through the Asia and East Asia Pacific qualifier in Oman, where Nepal remained unbeaten and topped the Super 6 stage, including a decisive win over Oman, cementing their place at the top of the points table. Nepal has already announced their 15-member squad for the tournament under the captaincy of Rohit Paudel. The squad this time includes 2 new faces, Basir Ahmad and Sher Mullah. The squad also includes key players Dipender Singh Airy, Sandeep Lamichhane, Kushal Bhurtel and Sompal Kami. This achievement reflects the hard work of Nepal's players, coaching staff and support team, and also highlights Nepal's growing reputation and positive image in international cricket, showing the world that the country is a rising force in global sports. Fans now look forward to seeing the team compete with pride on the world stage once again.
In our public pulse segment, we asked people how do they see World Cup trophy coming to Nepal. Let's have a look at what they have to say.
Yeah, cricket is emotion for all of us Nepalis in Nepal, as we all know. And this trophy tour gives lots of proud moment for all of us in Nepal. And I hope this is not the first time I have seen this trophy here in Nepal. I hope our team also win this trophy in coming future, and I want to give best wishes to our all Nepalese team. Best of luck.
मलाई चाहिँ नेपाल क्रिकेट धेरै मन पर्छ। म ट्रफी हेर्नले एकदम उत्साहित थिए। यहाँ आए आउँदाखेरि दर्शन त पाएन, तर एकदमै खुसी छु कि काठमाडौँमा ट्रफी आएको छ। मलाई धेरै राम्रो लाग्यो। तर अलिकति दुखी के भयो भने आउँदाखेरि गइसकेको थियो, हेर्न पाइएन, त्यति हो।
I feel like T20 World Cup is coming soon and Nepal has been qualified. And best wishes from us, from Nepal, to our team, national team, and to Rohit Paudel sir also. And like it has came to our home, and like we are feeling so much glad that it is here, and we can see we are able to see it from our eyes for the first time, I guess.
It feels very nice to bring trophy in Nepal. It promotes the culture of cricket in Nepal, and in hope in coming days Nepal will also perform very nicely in the tournament, which will ensure in the near future that Nepal will also be capable of winning this trophy.
धेरै खुसी लागेछ अब नेपालमा अब हाम्रो नेपाल पनि खेल्न लागेछ यो वर्ल्ड कप हैन हाम्रो देशमा आउँदा एकदम खुसी लागेछ अब हाम्रो देशले पनि जितेर ल्याउँछ कि भनेर आशा छ हामीलाई
इतिहासको पहिलो चोटी नै होला सायद थियो हैन यसरी आको अब र अहिले यो मिलाएर त तेस्रो चोटी हो नेपालले वर्ल्ड कप खेलिरहेको यो गर्दाखेरि अहिले सायद नेपाललाई धेरै ठाउँमा अब चिन्ने भयो के नेपाल पनि यस्तो रहेछ नेपालको अब क्रिकेटमा अगाडि बढिरहेछ भन्ने कुरो देखिन्छ
Yes, it's a very good feeling for all of us. Like the ICC T20 World Cup trophy that has come to Nepal. So hopefully this is not the last time coming to Nepal. Hopefully we win it and bring it home as our trophy.
अब सबैले माया गरेर एकदमै हामीले खेललाई अगाडि बढाइरहेका छौं यो क्रिकेट जस्तो विश्वमा चिनिसकेका छन् केही खेलाडीहरु पनि अब यस्तै गरेर हाम्रो नेपाललाई पनि चिनाउनलाई एकदम राम्रो हुनु पर्यो यो खेलमा किनभने चाहिँ म चाहिँ एकदमै आभारी छु
And I hope that this is not the last time we are seeing it. Our team will win this World Cup and bring it home. Best of luck, Nepal!
From global recognition to national celebration, Nepal's rising cricket profile is being felt both on and off the field. That growing momentum was also evident at the Pulsar NSJF Sports Awards 2082, where the country's top athletes were honoured. Nepali cricket all-rounder and national team vice-captain Dipendra Singh Ori has been named Player of the Year at the Pulsar NSJF Awards 2082. The award was presented at a ceremony organised by the Nepal Sports Journalists Forum NSJF at the Province Hall in Pokhara, where Dipendra outperformed 4 other nominees. Volleyball player Himal Sunari won the People's Choice Award, while cricketer Pooja Mahato was honoured as Young Player of the Year for leading Nepal's women's under-19 team to the World Cup for the first time. The Team of the Year award was jointly given to Nepal's men's and women's Kho-Kho teams, both runners-up at the inaugural Kho-Kho World Cup in India. Taekwondo expert Tulsi Kumar Gurung received the NSJF Special Award, while long jumper Prabha Angdambe was named Para-Athlete of the Year. Coach Khalkaranabat was honoured with the Lifetime Achievement Award as the forum recognised athletes and sports personalities across 10 categories this year. And that's a wrap on our issue of the day. Now on to remaining updates. Leaders of the Gen Z youth have called on all stakeholders to prioritize good governance, describing it as the main demand of the Gen Z movement. Speaking at a large interaction program held in Kathmandu today after the Gen Z People's Uprising, they stressed that the country must first ensure good governance. The youth leaders said elections should be held only after good governance is guaranteed and through an all-party consensus. They also urged injured individuals, families of martyrs, and youth involved in the movement to remain united for the nation's cause. Participants of the program emphasized that national interest should be placed above all else while moving forward. Silver prices in Nepal soared to a record high today, reflecting a broader trend in the global precious metals market. According to the Federation of Nepal Gold and Silver Dealers Association, silver was traded at 4,935 rupees per tola, which is 11.66 grams, up by 55 rupees from the previous day. The previous record of 4,895 rupees per 11.66 grams was set on December 29, 2025. The surge in Nepal mirrors the ongoing rally in international silver markets, driven by rising demand from industrial sectors and investment inflows amid global economic uncertainties. Factors such as inflation concerns, geopolitical tensions, and fluctuations in the US dollars are said to be key drivers influencing silver prices worldwide. Meanwhile, gold prices saw a slight decline as it dropped by 400 rupees per 11.66 grams to be traded at 267,700. The dip aligns with modest corrections in global gold markets, where investors are weighing central bank policies, interest rate expectations, and currency movements. Nepal government has decided not to provide grants for new projects until ongoing projects being implemented by provincial and local governments are completed from the coming fiscal year. The provision has been made by amending the Supplementary and Special Grants Procedure 2081, according to the National Planning Commission. The Commission said the amendment aims to make federal grants more systematic, result-oriented, and transparent by prioritizing the completion of old and serial projects. Under the revised procedure, ongoing projects will receive first priority in budget allocation, and new projects will be considered only after sufficient funding for existing projects is secured. The amendment also makes it mandatory for provincial and local governments to submit grant proposals online to ensure greater accountability. The Commission has invited provinces and local levels to submit proposals for 3 supplementary and 3 special projects by mid-February, warning that concerned bodies will be fully responsible for any errors in submissions. Rampant monkey invasions have forced residents of eastern Nepal, Bhojpur, to flee their villages, leaving once thriving settlements nearly deserted. With nearly 90% of the population gone, the few remaining families struggle to survive. Local officials warn additional villages could vanish. Rojina Rai, along with our local correspondent Ganesh Bista, explains more on the matter.
In the hilly villages of eastern Nepal, particularly in Bhojpur, a silent crisis is unfolding due to threats from monkeys. Kamala Tamang, a local resident, describes life in villages where most neighbors have migrated to cities or other districts. Once the thriving communities are being abandoned, driven away by relentless attacks from monkeys, nearly 90% of the population from these settlements has left, leaving streets eerily quiet and farmland abandoned. Villages such as Archale, Bholini, Damaisap, Gurase, Ranagaon, Thakle and Mohoria, once alive with daily activity, now stand nearly deserted. Out of 173 families, only 47 remains. For those who stay, life is harsh.
यहाँ समस्या भने चाहिँ त्यही पानी अनि बाँदर जंगलबाट एकदम कमाइहरू खानु नदिने समस्या त्यही हो अरु चाहिँ अब ठीक छ यहाँ धेरै गरेर भनेपछि रितो घर जति सबै
This exodus highlights how human-wildlife conflict combined with limited local resources threatens traditional rural life in Nepal. The escalating monkey menace destroys crops, homes and sometimes even attacks residents, forcing families to abandon their homes. It poses a serious threat to food security and the livelihoods of the subsistence farmers in the district. Locals recall that the government had attempted to address the problem, but limited budgets and resources undermined these efforts. Immediate intervention is crucial. Effective monkey control measures and programs to utilize abandoned farmland are urgently needed. Without action, many more rural settlements in the country could face the same fate. Rojina Rai with the local correspondent Ganesh Bista, Bhojpur, Nepal.
It's now time for international updates, but before that, let's have a quick look at our headlines this evening. Energy Minister Kulwan Gising steps down following Prime Minister Karki's request. Nominations for January 25 National Assembly elections closed with 44 candidates for 18 seats. Nepali Congress faces internal crisis over convention's disgruntled faction. Announced special general convention next week. US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military. Such comes as European leaders issue statement rallying behind Denmark. Top athletes honored in Pulsar Sports NSJF Awards 2082. Deepinder Singh Irvi crowned Player of the Year. An ICC Men's T20 World Cup trophy tour concludes in Nepal. 3-day tour culminates in iconic Bodhanath Stupa celebration in Kathmandu. Venezuela's interim president Delcy Rodriguez insists no foreign power was governing her country after U.S. President Donald Trump says Washington would run it pending a transition after ousting her predecessor. Rodriguez, in a televised address, said the government of Venezuela is in charge in the country and no one else, adding there is no foreign agent governing Venezuela.
El gobierno de Venezuela rige en nuestro país, más nadie. No hay agente externo que gobierne a Venezuela. Es Venezuela. Es su gobierno constitucional. El presidente Maduro declaraba ante un tribunal que es un prisionero de guerra. Y se declaraban como lo que son, inocentes, personas decentes que fueron injustamente quebrantada su protección inmunitaria como jefe de Estado y, bueno, vulnerado por completo las leyes internacionales y las leyes de Venezuela.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has said Venezuela will be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil worth about $2.8 billion to the U.S. after a military operation to remove President Nicolas Maduro from power. The oil will be sold at its market price, Trump posted on social media, adding he would control the money raised and use it to benefit the people of Venezuela and the U.S. His comments on Truth Social come after he said the U.S. oil industry would be up and running in Venezuela within 18 months and that he expected huge investments to pour into the country. China, which has been the biggest buyer of Venezuelan oil in recent years, has condemned Trump's announcement as well as the U.S.'s reported demands that Venezuela gives its oil exclusively to them. Intense snowfall and icy weather conditions have caused widespread travel disruption across Europe, including France, with 6 reported killed in weather-related incidents on the continent. Hundreds of flights have been cancelled across Europe, with thousands left stranded at airports in Paris and Amsterdam. In Paris, the cold snap has intensified, with weather officials said freezing conditions are expected to persist, increasing the risk of ice formation across affected regions. France's National Weather Service said 38 districts are being placed on orange alert for snow and black ice on Wednesday. Many train services were cancelled in parts of the country. Authorities also urged motorists to limit travel as emergency services were put on standby and road crews worked to clear and salt major routes. We'll go for a short break here. Business news coming up next. Stay with us.
Sri Lanka and Germany have signed a bilateral agreement as part of Sri Lanka's external debt restructuring. Under the agreement, Germany will provide debt relief by rescheduling outstanding loans amounting to about $219.8 million, following bilateral talks held after Sri Lanka reached a memorandum of understanding with the official creditor committee. Sri Lanka's finance ministry said the agreement supports the government's efforts to restore debt sustainability and stabilize the economy after its financial crises. The deal marks another step in securing restructuring commitments from key bilateral creditors. Sri Lanka has been negotiating with official and private creditors as part of its broader restructuring program aimed at unlocking international financial support and restoring investor confidence. In inflation slowed in December, easing to 2.0%. Official data shown on Friday as a faster decline in energy prices helped temper consumer price increases. The figure marks a slight drop from 2.1% in November, bringing inflation in line with the European Central Bank's target. Analysts said the moderation reflects stabilizing energy markets and weaker pressure on household budgets, although core inflation, which excludes volatile items such as food and energy, remains more persistent. The data is likely to influence ECB policy decisions, with policymakers balancing the need to support economic growth while ensuring price stability across the 20-member currency bloc. Financial markets, including banks and stock exchanges, reacted cautiously, with euro bank notes and currency trading reflecting broader investor sentiment. Sony Group and Honda Motors joint venture, Sony Honda Mobility, will introduce a US-manufactured electric vehicle in Japan in the first half of next year. The sedan will feature an AI agent capable of interacting with drivers and managing functions such as route suggestions. The vehicle will also offer entertainment options, including backseat gaming, and is scheduled for release in the US later this year. Sony Honda Mobility President and COO Kawanishi Izumi emphasized the company's focus on AI as central to the future of automotive user experiences. The launch comes amid intensifying competition in Japan's EV market, with China's BYD planning to introduce a light electric vehicle in the country this year. Bandai Namco is celebrating the 30th anniversary of Tamagotchi with a special exhibition opening in Tokyo on January 7, highlighting the toy's evolution from black and white pixel characters to color screens with Wi-Fi connectivity. Since launching in the 1990s, more than 100 million Tamagotchi units have been sold worldwide, according to the company.
I think it's cool. I think it's popular in 2000. And I think it's really cute because it's a small virtual pet and you can take care of them. I think it's cute. I wish I could get one someday.
The brand has seen renewed momentum in recent years as nostalgic parents and Gen Z consumers embrace retro products. Sales of Tamagotchi merchandise increased about sevenfold between 2019 and 2024, excluding video games. Regionally, Japan represents nearly 50% of total unit sales, while the Americas account for 33%. Other Asia-Pacific markets contribute roughly 2%, according to Bandai Namco. The anniversary exhibition features interactive displays and a historic of the dozens of Tamagotchi models released over 3 decades. In 2025, UK toy retailer Hamleys ranked Tamagotchi among the top 100 toys of all time, alongside Lego and the Rubik's Cube, reflecting its sustained global appeal.
Now the sports update. Defending champions Ivory Coast has become the final team to secure a place in the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON 2025 quarterfinals, rounding out a lineup of 8 continental heavyweights as the tournament nears its conclusion in Morocco. Qualified teams for the AFCON 2025 quarterfinals include Ivory Coast, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria, Ghana and Tunisia. Matches are scheduled to be played over the coming days at multiple venues across Morocco, culminating in a semi-final lineup that will determine the tournament's final tour. The round of 16 produced a mix of dramatic moments, including last-minute winners, a penalty shootout, and several high-scoring games, setting the stage for closely contested quarterfinal clashes. Tournament organizers said the upcoming fixtures will see the continent's top teams face off, with stakes high for both national pride and continental ranking. Palestinian amputees took part in a football match on Tuesday as part of a charity championship held at a camp for displaced people in Khan Yunis, southern Gaza, organizers said. The match, played by amputee athletes using crutches, aimed to provide psychological support and a sense of normalcy for participants amid ongoing displacement and hardship in the enclave. Dozens of residents gathered to watch the game, which was organized by local volunteers and aid groups. Many of the participants lost limbs during previous rounds of fighting or as a result of military operations in Gaza. Organizers said the championship was intended to promote resilience, raise awareness of the needs of people with disabilities, and offer a rare recreational outlet in overcrowded camps. Humanitarian agencies have repeatedly warned that displaced people in southern Gaza face deteriorating living conditions, limited medical care, and growing mental health challenges as the conflict continues. Now the weather updates from across Nepal first and then the world. We're almost at the end of our news hour, but before we wrap up, let's take a look at the headlines one more time. Energy Minister Kulman Gising resigns from cabinet. Gising steps down following Prime Minister Karki's request. Nominations for January 25 National Assembly elections close with 44 candidates for 18 seats. Nepali Congress faces internal crisis over conventions. Disgruntled faction announced special general convention next week. US discussing options to acquire Greenland, including use of military. Such comes as European leaders issue a statement rallying behind Denmark. Top athletes honored in Pulsar Sports NSJF Awards 2082. Dipendra Singh Ari crowned Player of the Year. An ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy Tour concludes in Nepal. 3-day tour culminates in iconic Baudhana Stupa celebration in Kathmandu. And that's it for this edition of NTV World News Hour. Do join us through our social media and get the latest updates from our official website www.nepaltelevision.com. I'm Smita Gising Tamang signing off. Thank you for staying with us. Have a wonderful evening ahead.